are YouTubers.
Oh, YouTube
Any
beauty.
good tricks?
I'm
That we
learning
should know
them.
about?
Today's the first day. That's what I'm learning.
Do you know everyone at dinner?
I think so. Oh my God!
Good times here in the Big Brother house.
Oh my!
Oh, you look nice.
Hi, Bubbles. My boy. Hi. Let's see your favorite pop star.
Oh my gosh!
How's it going?
You like it here?
I live here now.
You okay? Do you think you'll stay after it's over?
No, I'll have to transcend this space.
You will.
Yeah.
I'm eating my moustache slightly.
You are, but you okay? How are you?
I'll be okay.
I miss you.
I know. Me
I've been
too.
going and going.
You have. You're making a pop star life move.
Yeah,
Putting out an album.
Something about that.
Is this a camera?
Oh, yes. They told you it's all cameras everywhere, right?
Yep. Totally.
we're all
You guys
here.
all look very nice. Did
Thank
you
you.
coordinate? Hi, I'm Sia.
Hi.
I don't know if we
Actually,
have.
never met. I don't think
Have you been here for a little while?
Had a conversation.
No.
I think
Have
we've
you
done
been
like
able to
hello
witness?
kind of
We
thing.
look beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Good. How are you?
See you.
You too. You're Cleo. I remember you from the pool.
Good. How are you?
I can't remember you said or did something that was remarkable. I love that. I can't remember the thing that you said or did that was remarkable. Well, this is a great start to the evening. Very nice to meet you. Hi, buddy. How are you? I like your suit. That's fun.
I know, you look great.
Yeah.
And we all got the like color card.
Yeah.
We're all in our
And it's all
world.
in this room.
Isn't that so glam?
Yeah.
Do you see Nugget?
What's this awesome music?
What a nice segue. Look, there's a little nugget.
I'm gonna have glass of wine.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I have a strawberry
I guess.
Pellegrino.
Would you want a Malbec or a Malbec? Or maybe a
When I can't speak to people anymore, I just come to her.
You come here, introduce me with your real friend.
Well, you know, sometimes when you just don't have the words.
I can't believe you're doing this. This is amazing. 3 days?
It's insane.
It's too much.
Well, yeah, maybe. I'm having fun. Everybody's having
Do you
fun.
feel like you have to censor yourself a little bit because
Censor?
everyone's watching? Because
Well-
I do.
Well, no, but you
I'm
know,
like, I'm well, thank you. How are you?
honestly, the real lesson is that, like, not that we should censor ourselves, but we should be slow to speak. Anyways.
Right.
Because words are super powerful,
Yeah.
you know? And sometimes they can cut, kill, trigger. And so it's making me be slow to speak and also a listener, an avid listener.
Right? That's what I was planning for tonight.
Yes, well, I'd love for you to join me in
Log of
listening.
listening.
I know, right? But there's no traps here.
No,
this
oh,
is a
I know.
safe
Oh, I
place.
know. I mean, I know that there's no traps. It would be me setting my own traps for myself
Yeah, sure. But there's a safe.
because I'm quite opinionated, but I keep that private.
You
Most
shut the
of
blinds, and we put the kettle on, right? As we should.
Yeah.
But you know what? This
This
a
is
safe
not
place.
my sofa.
That's okay. But you know that walking in here, and I will catch you.
You'll
I'll
remind me.
you. I got you in this space. Don't worry.
Oh my gosh, I can't take it. I'm really too big of a fan of your dog.
She's my little love.
Yeah, little nuggie. Do you know I love it when you tickle her here and she just flips that leg open?
But that's like the best part.
Just
Like
so
this
so
little
tender.
tenderoni.
Oh, hi, buddy.
And you know how they smell? Remember when we talked about how they smell?
Mine smells like cookies.
Oh, yeah.
Someone else is here?
Yes.
It's so like we're at the Big Brother house. Hello.
This is a big sister house. This is a big sister house.
I'm gonna call the police.
Hello, Queen. Welcome, goddess, my beautiful goddess.
Hi.
I am so happy to see you. Welcome.
Oh, this is amazing.
This is Dita.
Hi, I've got my name tag on. was like, what is she gonna wear?
Just something simple. Just something simple.
Would you like a strawberry Pellegrino?
Oh yeah.
Or a kombucha?
Oh, actually no, just water. Actually, water today.
Well,
Thank you.
that's a sparkling water, no?
Yes,
water.
He's gonna give me a stick.
Okay, great. Great.
But you get that.
Thank you.
You found your poison.
This is my
your new poison.
This is my strawberry Pellegrino.
Can I smell it?
Yeah.
You're dark. Don't be sorry. Do you need a straw for that?
I might. Oh my God. Do I?
Yeah.
Don't suppose you have any straws available.
Yes, we do. We can find some straws. Guess what I do? This is what I do. Hey, watch this.
That was
Watch.
amazing. He was like, and you were like, yep.
Watch. Hey, can you get us a straw? Can you say yes? Just will you grab us one straw? Just say yes. I want to show off it to you. Okay, great.
Oh, it's so good. It's like, did you see the terminal with
Wait.
Tom Hanks?
No, I didn't see that.
Do your thing.
Who's here?
Hi, Butter. Hi, Butter. Hi.
Oh, yes, Camilla.
It's okay. I promise,
Hi.
I promise
How
I'm
are
a good
you?
person. Would you like to smell my bottom butters?
Welcome.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Are you okay? I've got you.
Okay, I've got you too.
Okay, good.
I got your back.
Okay, where are you from?
Brazil.
You're from Brazil?
Yes.
What? You live here?
I live here, yes.
But you're from Brazil? Yes, Morta Linda, Morta Linda. Okay, Camille, are you nervous? It's okay. Just like we can like breathe in. How long have you been a kitty cat?
For like 6 years.
Okay, welcome. Do you have friends that are watching you online?
Yes, a lot of people.
Or are they all like losing their mind?
Probably.
Okay, good. All right, good.
They all wanted you to know that we love you so much.
Thank you. I love you guys. You know I love you guys. This is weird, right?
It is.
This is weird. Okay, let me
But
introduce.
it's very exciting.
Yes.
It's very exciting.
Let me introduce you to everyone.
Okay.
Watch your step.
Okay.
Camilla.
Yeah, I just know I'm nervous that I'll say something inappropriate. Hi,
This is
Camilla.
Camilla.
I'm Sia. Welcome to our
This
party.
is Sia.
Hi,
This is Dina.
That's Dina. Camilla is here. Welcome. And
This
these are
is
our other
Camilla, my friend. How are you? Nice to meet you. This is Mia.
Hi, Mia.
This is Cleo.
So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And this is Diara.
Nice to meet you.
Camilla is from, where are you from in Brazil?
Rio.
Rio! Rockin' Rio. And what do you do in LA?
I'm just here for you. I don't live here. I live in South Carolina.
Oh, she lives in
now.
South Carolina. She was flown in for this.
Yes. I'm here just because of you guys.
Amazing.
Wait, I know something. Oi, tudo bem? Tudo bom?
To the bay. Yeah. To the bay.
Hey, what's up?
It's how are you? Yeah. That was actually really good.
Thanks so much, Nevada. I love that name. Would you like anything to drink? Water, wine, sparkling, anything? Champagne?
I don't drink alcohol.
That's okay. I'm having a strawberry Pellegrino, which is no
That sounds good.
sparkling water.
Yeah.
Okay. There's another person here? Oh my gosh! Oh my goddess! No way! It's Anna Kendrick, my favorite! Oh my goddess! I love you so much!
I'm the surprise. I'm such a crap surprise, but you seem
No,
excited.
Do you see me slam
You
the
are
walls?
so excited.
I am so happy!
This is amazing. You look beautiful.
Hi, you look.
I love this red light. I feel like we're gonna get it on any second. I mean, we're live streaming. Isn't that what you do?
The whole world is
like, I
watching.
literally didn't. I was
You look
not-
great.
This is super
You are
last
great.
minute.
No,
so
I
I'm
love
like
you so
excited.
much.
I was like, I'm gonna come down and ruin the moment several times tonight.
What are you talking
I'm
about?
really excited.
Don't ruin the moment. You are
I'll ruin every
bringing the moment. Set it down. Introduce yourself.
Great. See, like I didn't didn't bring a clutch or anything. That's how you know I didn't
I don't
know
even have a clutch.
that this was like
Who needs a clutch?
going on. Hey, Mama. How are you?
Yes, that is so fun.
They were just asking me like, how did you meet Katy? And I was like, I've been friends with Tamara forever. It's not a great story. Anyway.
I think it's a great story.
That's actually like
No,
Awesome.
I just wanted to cheers.
See ya.
Welcome from Brazil. I can't believe we have a real person from Brazil. Brazil must be on fire right now.
They were.
Brazil! Mortalinda! Mortalinda!
They really want you to make you dream.
Well, please, you know I'm never not going to go to Brazil. Look at Dina, she is so beautiful.
Rock the dog.
You didn't do it.
Oh, you look so gorgeous. Do you have a little doggy? I was more of a cat lady.
I was more of a dog person.
Okay.
Cat that I was.
Wait, is your cat hairless?
No, he's got the curly hair. He's related to Sphinx, so they looks
But I like
kind
Butter's
of
face.
Right.
You can play fetch.
but
That's
he's
like Nugget is like a pet rock. Hello. Great thing.
Dita, you look so stunning.
I would love Byron. Yeah.
Should we, I think we're all here.
How are you?
Shall we gather?
Hi, we met. Nice to see you. Oh my God.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you do this on purpose? Like, we accidentally did it.
Did I not hug you yet?
I don't know.
If you did, you definitely were
like
just trying to get another.
I feel like I'm rolling right now. Because everything, all the textures are so
No, but
nice.
this is in the color scheme. You know that we're all like symmetrical with the color.
Some people just like they mention me, and then they fucking me in that Easter pastel.
It's always me.
Thank you so much.
I'm so happy. By the way, I'm so happy that my friends are here. Because like today is kind of day 1.5, and it's already been really intense. And like I'm like, okay, now I can
You must
just.
be exhausted.
Well, I love when you
Just sit on my lap or
It's a
just
little
sit on the
intense.
dash, look out the window. It's really, he's a dog-like cat, you know?
3, but one time for like an hour.
Full therapy.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just nice to have friends here because like I can just fart and be myself, even though the whole world is still watching.
I'm gonna sit.
You know?
I'll eat whatever, yeah.
But I think we should gather because Nina wants to feed us.
Yes, okay.
Only vegan over here?
What, living in LA?
Yeah.
Just,
In America. Okay.
I'm trying to get that meat. I'm trying to get that meat. Should we? What? No, I need that. I need that meat.
It's grounded.
It is ground. It needs to ground this angel.
Do you want to do your seated?
Why don't you? Yeah, Cleo. Why don't you do what the seating is?
Well, I think everyone should sit next to someone that they're not that familiar with.
Okay. So I'm gonna sit next to Camilla and Dita.
Great.
Where do you want? Sally.
Breaking the rules.
Sally Breer.
I call them somebody you're not.
May I welcome you to dinner?
Why would that be like that?
Yes, you may.
Following the rules. Your Lucifer's coming out.
I'm gonna sit
We were
here.
just saying everyone should sit next to someone they're not that familiar with.
Camilla.
Also, because you're so beautiful, I feel like by proximity, I'm just like,
Hi. Please. Anna, come over and sit by Diara. Yeah.
sit here so that me and you are next to each other.
I kind of broke the rules, but I need some security blankets.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel you. I'm here for you, too.
Okay, good.
And then do we have one more joining us?
No, we're good. I think we're good. Yeah. Oh, yes, Patty Jenkins. Yeah, she's amazing. Once I get out of this cage, once I break free, it's gonna be the first thing I do.
That was what I was going to do tonight.
Oh, okay.
And then Lauren was like, why don't you come down to this thing? I was like, okay.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
asked Patty Jenkins to describe the whole plot to me
I know, right?
in person instead of me coming to see it tonight. That's appropriate behavior, right? At dinner? Just describe the movie to me frame by frame.
Can we pause the music, please?
Do you just talk?
Who are
and
you
stuff?
talking to?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
And all of a sudden, we have a 20-second delay.
That's gonna be me all night.
Well, don't worry, we got a 20-second delay on this thing.
Mia, do you need the list of words you can't say? She's like, no, I'm cool.
I've got a direct line.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, I would love. You know, I'll have still actually. Thank you so much.
You leave here and you're still doing it?
I know. I'm talking to the walls.
You're like at stand foods. Like,
I
know
go for
first,
you
like-
to. You'll do all the
need a
talking. You know
baguette.
what to do. Okay, great, Nina. Okay, awesome. Well,
Walks into an airport. I'm gonna be flights down.
I know it just doesn't work this way. So I want to thank you, Tamara.
Oh, you're leaving now?
Wait, hold on, I'm gonna give you a hug.
Love you, buddy.
Bye, Sam.
Love y'all. Oh, sparkling, please. Thank you.
Love you, buddy. See you
Bye.
around. Well, hey, you going to dive day tomorrow?
Not. I'm here tomorrow.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can go that. You can go there if you like and come back. No, it's okay.
Did you see that slide to the left, the eye movement?
Well, it's definitely like Tamara. Blink twice. If you're okay. You can't stop blinking.
All of a sudden, everyone starts just like writing Katy messages on their
Hashtag
eyelids,
justice.
and they're like, long
Hashtag
blinking.
justice for Tamara.
Justice. Basement baby.
She is basement baby. So welcome to Witness Worldwide. I know it feels and it seems like it's just us, but it's not. It's the whole world, and they're here, and you know that's fine, but it's okay. Just be yourselves. That's the only person you can be, right?
You made it weird.
No, this isn't weird, and there are people watching us through the two-way screen up there in the mirrors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, where is that? That's the blogger room? That's the blogger
Where
room.
is it?
So people,
That is so creepy and amazing.
you gotta,
Can you believe how creepy this all is?
yeah, you gotta, when you leave, you gotta go check
be
that
like
out before you
creepy
go.
and
It's wild. And for some of you that don't know, this is Cleo Wade, and one of my best friends, and a beautiful woman, and someone I look up to and am inspired by. And I think she's going to take over for the dinner this evening. But before you take over, could we go around the room and all introduce ourselves?
Yeah.
Just even
Do you
our
wanna go
names?
first?
Oh, yes. Hi, guys. I'm Katy Perry.
I'm Camilla. I'm a Katy cat.
Yeah. And where are you from?
Welcome.
I'm from Brazil.
But she lives in.
I live in South Carolina right now.
Welcome.
Yeah.
I'm really happy that I'm here with all of you guys. You're such like powerful women that I look up to. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
You are too.
That's nice. I'm Sia. I'm an alcoholic. And also a love addict.
No. You're also an incredible woman.
I'm Mia
Hi,
Reddy,
Mia.
and I'm one of Katie's best friends. And
Who said that?
I said that.
That's right.
Yeah, I know some of you ladies, and I'm excited to sort of get to know you a little better tonight.
Superficially.
Yeah.
Because we're being filmed.
I'm Anna, and I'm here to ruin the moment repeatedly with sarcasm. That's what I do all day, every day.
Yes,
Great.
I'm Diara, and I'm just a friend to, well, hopefully everyone at the end of the night, but in particular Cleo and Katy and Mia. So I'm happy to be. Yes.
nice to meet you.
I'm Dita Von Teese. I think we're more like
Acquainted, yeah.
acquaintances, I
Yes.
would say,
And I mean, I see you all over the world. I mean, I feel like I kind of have met. I feel like I've met
We've
everyone
been
except
in
for
each
you
other's
two
orbit
here.
for years.
Yeah, yeah. So that's it.
And I'm Cleo.
Yay!
And, you know, I think I'm just going to start by opening up the space a little by just setting an intention for the dinner. Even though it is live, I do think it's really important as women to share our stories with each other in a safe and sacred space for ourselves and also for the young girls who are watching, because the more we share our stories, the less they have to jump through the same hoops we did. So I don't know if everyone got my memo about this dinner, because I made one.
We read it on the way in.
Yes. Here it is. Sorry.
So I asked everyone to prepare a rose and a thorn. It's not going to be a big deal. You're going to be cool.
I'm prepared.
I'm not very prepared.
I haven't and you don't have to worry about it's. And by prepared, I mean like you're all kind of in flow with your femininity and stories anyway. So I'm not really worried about anyone at this table.
We're out.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm just like, oh. But you know, I think that in particular, I'd love for us all to share with each other a rose and a thorn in our relationship to like our womanhood, as far as like from girlhood to womanhood or sisterhood. Because I think especially as women, we get really confused when it comes to how to be in sisterhood with each other, especially because even our instincts towards one another are conditioned. So meaning our first thought isn't always our right thought. You know, a lot of the times we walk into a room, and if it's a room full of men and there's only one other woman in the room, we'll be like, she's got a piece of my pie, when really there is no pie. And whoever said there was a pie is probably like an old white guy somewhere. So it's really important for us to take back our instincts and then walk up to that woman and say, like, you're my sister, what can I do for you? And so I'm sure we all have kind of stories of those feelings, and I think sharing those is something that's really powerful, especially for the next generation. And we can all be leaders with our stories. So just marinate on that. I'm not going to force anyone into conversation.
I'm hungry.
In this moment.
I know Mia loves to eat, and I just want to know. And we all, I don't know about anyone else.
I think he's going to service us tonight.
Oh my gosh, what a beautiful thing to be serviced by a man of quality.
Thank you, sweetie. Thank you so much. I will service you for that.
Thank you. What should we do
A
with these?
little avocado toast on the ends that I will pass around. A little Fresno
Nina,
chili.
before you start, will
Yes,
you
sorry.
introduce yourself,
Hi.
please? Hi.
I'm Nina.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to sort of feed you all.
Where are you from?
Italian born, New York City raised, and I've been in LA for 10 years.
Amazing.
So, yeah, and my dinner tonight is actually an ode to all the incredible mentors I've had in my life, primarily all women, the men I don't think about. And it's Maya Gurley, Nancy Silverton, my mother, of course, and actually my sous chef, who we grew up together, Zena Sharf over there. Thank you. So yeah, so tonight's kind of my ode to them and all of you ladies, and making you all happy.
Thank you
That's
for
what it's
that,
about,
Nina.
right?
Thank you.
So let me serve you. So we're gonna
Should we
start with a
take
little
these off,
Tuscan kale salad.
I'm gonna actually
What happened with these? There's a lot of plates on the table.
I know, it's just like one of
You know
those
what?
things.
Keep the little one. I'm gonna take these off.
Okay, great. Sorry, Camilla.
Thank you. I didn't notice there was like a castle of plates for you all.
A little bit.
Camilla, how long are you in town?
Just for today, and tomorrow I'm leaving. So I just came for today.
She doesn't have enough time to swim.
I
That
don't.
We've established already.
You can do
Oh, the ocean, you mean?
No, I meant the swimming pool. I think small.
Right, got it.
Tonight, you ladies are kind of also going to be serving yourselves because it's all about sort of that community
Sisterhood.
experience here. So
That's a really nice way of saying get off your asses.
Right? Thank you, Camille.
I appreciate it.
Take one of that. Here.
I don't want one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you want one, baby?
Yeah.
Thank you.
This one over on that side.
I did the same thing.
I'm probably gonna need two. Did you just say that too?
Yeah.
Heidi. Alicia. This is so beautiful.
You want another one of those? Do you want another one?
That's enough. Thanks.
Those are
Yeah.
I wonder if other people are having dinner at home as well. Thank you for joining us and sharing your meal, whichever way it comes. Okay, and you can join in on this conversation too.
Yes. And hopefully it inspires
Are you gonna move for salad?
you and your girlfriends to
Are you
sit
gonna come
down
around
and
this way?
share.
Yeah.
Have these types of sacred spaces with food.
Good idea.
Should we bless our food?
Yes, please. I mean, I first and foremost,
My religious background to work?
well, not even that. I made a meal with Gordon Ramsay earlier today.
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay.
Oh my gosh, saying that with those hands, holding this thing out like
It was edible. It might not have had enough seasoning.
I saw you trying to separate
did you
that
guys
girl. What was
make?
happening?
Well, I don't know. I'm tired.
It was hard because the instructions were, because he was
It
moving.
was so
And that's
hard.
What were you making?
I made
was showing
quinoa meatballs. No, but he's got like
meatballs.
yeah, and like zucchini spaghetti, and like he's got 16 Michelin stars, and I've got negative 16 Michelin stars. And anyways, all I want to say is that like I can't believe the amount of preparation that goes into food. I mean, even the ingredients, even the setting, all of it. The flour is just like we are very blessed, aren't we?
Yes.
So,
Okay, let's
Lita,
see.
you're like, she's like, I'm like,
Yeah.
let's bless the
I
food.
also love that. I always like to think about not just the preparation that goes into it, but the preparation that the earth gave to the food, like to grow and to
Mother
life and to fruit
That
and
mother.
to flourish.
Thank you, Mother Earth, for this beautiful food and for this beautiful company and the solidarity between us.
Yes.
Bless.
Baseball.
This is going to be interesting.
I love a sparkling apple juice to feel luxurious, sparkling.
How do you all know Katy? How did you all meet?
I met Katie through Mia.
We met on the street, I think.
No, hold up.
Now let's stick with the street.
I'm gonna talk with my mouth full, okay? Here's what really happened. This is about 12 years ago. I was couch surfing on Shannon Woodward's couch. My friend, Shannon. And
Shannon Woowa.
Shannon
That's
Woowa.
what I call her. With no, if you take out the consonants.
Yeah, I love doing that game. Tididibit. My teddy bear.
Okay.
But Shannon, I was on her couch eating her Trader Joe's chicken nuggets, and a friend of ours, Marcus Molinari, that lived right across the street. We'd all hang out and have little kikis and stuff. And one time we saw, it was me and Marcus, I think, and Shannon, and we saw this girl in a beret and like a cape.
Holding a bunny.
Well,
Is that when you had the bunnies?
she had the bunnies, but just walking down the street with like total purpose, with every step was a stomp, and she just knew exactly what she was doing. And Marcus goes, "Don't talk to her, she's weird." And I was like, she's my next best friend. And that was her, and that was Mia Moretti, who just like lights up the room when she walks in, and
She
like
is the moment.
she is.
Whenever
the moment.
anyone talks about like that was a moment, like the moment is always Mia.
Sorry.
And those bunnies were called Abra and Kadabra. That's
did.
my favorite thing about you.
I did have pet bunnies. I rescued them from a magician.
I do have one.
You have one now?
Yes.
What
Does it sleep with you?
She likes to bite.
Oh.
Yeah. So not anymore, but she
used to?
Yes. Her name is Lola.
Lola.
Yeah.
See, you guys are like sisters. You got
How long have
something
you
in
had
common.
her?
She's like a year old now.
They don't live that long though, do they?
I don't know.
Or
Don't
yours
get attached.
Yours didn't, I guess, is what you're trying to tell us.
I actually had 2, and they were angels, and then one of them got sick, and I had to have it put to sleep, and ever since then, the second one, her personality totally shifted, and she, like from that moment on, I think it felt like abandonment or something, and she was so mean and like bit everybody and like chewed everything, and just a total 360. But I think it's like they say if you certain animals like elephants, I think are one of them, that if they're they live in pairs, and if you take one elephant somewhere, you're supposed to bring both a pair.
That's a big
They do that with cows. I worked with a cow on Into the Woods, and there was one cow that was on camera, and then there was another cow that was just there for emotional support.
Moral support.
And if I think it was Tug and oh shoot, I can't remember the other one's name, but Tug and Diamond, and if Tug couldn't see Diamond in her visual periphery, she would moo and get really upset, and she wouldn't perform. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened to Abra.
Have you guys seen Shirley the Elephant?
No.
You can go onto YouTube and type in Shirley the Elephant, and it was on PBS, I think, or CBS. I can't remember, but it was a special. Just watch it. That it's so heartbreaking and awesome. 2 elephants re-find one another.
2 elephants what?
They're reacquainted after a long time.
That's modern love.
It's really amazing. It really shows you the
How powerful.
connection between animals.
Yeah. That's why Nugget is on your lap.
I love Nugget so much. I'm an animal too.
We are all animals.
Yeah. But I'm more like a dog, okay?
Yeah.
What animal are you? I'm a dog.
I'm a bird. I learned that in my human design chart reading that I had today. I like to just fly above and like observe everybody.
I didn't get an animal in mine.
What animal do you think?
Yeah, what do you feel like?
Yeah, what do you feel like?
I need to think
What do you
want to
be?
Like an owl.
Yeah, yeah.
And
what
Tell
do you
me
want
more.
to be?
Why owl?
Owls, that's
Wise?
wisdom.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I am like an owl.
Owls, the wisdom?
I just think they're so beautiful, and I'm fascinated by their faces and the way they move their heads and their bodies, and they are symbolic of wisdom.
They are very mystical.
You know, so I've had dreams about a pet owl on my shoulder. It's one of my favorite dreams. And do you remember Clash of the Titans? That owl that. You remember the movie Clash of the Titans?
Yeah.
Okay. I always loved that owl, that funny.
Owls
mechanical
represent
owl.
wisdom, and they're the ones that see like the different dimensions.
Think about it.
Okay.
Girl. I know they're not okay to have as pets, but I can watch those little owl, little videos on YouTube, and like owl. I just started following some owl Facebook thing where it's just like videos of owls. I was like, yes, following. Like baby owls.
That's so cute.
I guess people have them as rescues.
Are you an
which
owl
would be
too,
great.
then?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to be, I suppose, but there's always
we
that
can
question:
hang.
which animal are you, or which one do you want to be?
Because I've just decided I want to be an owl now. So if you want to be one too, then we can kind of like perch together.
Right.
And like make subtle head gestures.
I want to be a dove.
Doves are always in love.
Okay, all right.
You
They're
can love
very.
yourself.
Go, you already know. What's your animal?
I think I would be a cat.
Yes.
Yes. I guess because of the personality, maybe.
Yeah. That's why I love cats so much, is because they're so independent.
Yes.
They go to the bathroom when they want to go to the bathroom. They'll be touched when they want to be touched.
Give themselves a bath.
Exactly.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I'd rather be bathed.
Yeah.
This avocado toast is amazing.
Yeah, delicious.
Unbelievable. Who made the bread?
It's actually Clark Street bread.
It's so good.
Yeah, local.
Yumma lama.
Diara, what's your animal?
I prefer to just give other people animals. My own. I don't know. I feel like it'd be something small though that can like
Maneuver.
Like an ant.
Take her out.
Bobbing and weaving.
You know, ants can carry 10 times their own body weight. They're powerful.
I feel like I'm carrying that all over.
There's an ant farm over there.
That blood history out.
Are there actually ants in there?
Yeah, they're trying to figure it out though.
Oh, wow.
Ants somewhere.
Isn't the ant farm over there?
That's the ant farm?
Yeah.
That beautiful painting?
Well, it's like, it's tunnel ways, kind of.
Is this somebody's house?
No, but it's where I live now. It's my house now.
It's your house.
Yeah.
They built this for this?
No, it did exist, and then we changed the inside. That's what we do. We just change the inside. Queen.
Did it manifest the outside?
The outside exists. Will you give us an example of a rose and a thorn?
Yes, I'm gonna start with the thorn because I actually had this revelation this past week. I like to think of the thorns for going from girlhood to womanhood as like things that are also just like unexpected, that like the women that came before you or people that came before you didn't teach you, maybe just because they didn't even have the tools to teach it to you. But I had a day this past week where I just had an awful day. And it was like, but nothing caused the awful day. And I feel like no one ever tells you you have those days growing up. So people will be like, you're gonna have like bad days, but it'll be because like the bad thing happened. So then you would know how to like rationalize that. So you're just kind of like, oh, when I woke up this morning, I got this news and I just like couldn't get back on my feet about it. But I didn't like have the bad thing that happened. I just woke up and I was like, wow, it's just really hard to be in my skin today. Like it's actually just really hard to be in the energy of the world today. And like nothing felt right. And everything felt like I needed to be on the brink of tears or just like I was off. Like I just wasn't even like resonating on the same energy wavelength as other human beings. And you're just sad, but nothing is causing it. And so sometimes I'm like, wow, like, did I just miss the boat of like the women, or just of someone not teaching me or showing me or seeing that?
Didn't Monica teach us about
Yeah.
that?
What's that?
Yes.
She did.
She did.
She sure did. Thank you, Monica.
Where is Monica?
She's around. She's watching. Shout out.
Love her.
Love her.
So yeah, I was like Monica. With no Monica there at the moment. you know?
Monica, find Cleo Wade.
Yeah, Monica, please. But you know, even in those references, it's like something happens. Like there's a thing where something's going on. Like you're having the breakup, or you're having the thing. It's like when I think it's hard sometimes to just know that like sometimes you're just maybe the chemicals inside of you, or just the energy around you, or you just honestly just didn't wake up on the right side of the bed, and that's a real thing.
I feel like it's like the weather.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't really matter what's happening. Your emotions are like the weather. Like you can't appreciate a sunny day without a rainy day or a cloudy day.
The
So
divine
I kind of
dichotomy.
just see it as like that when I don't, because I've noticed that it doesn't always have a cause and effect. It's just like, and it's not like, I'm not even talking about like all the girl emotions, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about in general, like just noticing that it's like, it's the weather. It's like, how are you going to know when you're happy and when everything's right and when you feel upbeat if you don't feel like just bad?
I think I was just mostly like, wow, and maybe I hadn't had one of those days in a while. I was like, I just forgot that they just hit you like for no reason. Because like we all have just like got that weird call from like our accountant during tax season. And you're just kind of like, damn, I can't bounce back from that. Like, you know, but
60% taxes here. Or actually, California 13.5 state tax.
damn. So, you know, you have like that thing, or, you know, you have like a thing that reminds you of an old love or whatever, but just feeling the world or feeling the universe and it really impacting you and like your functionality, it's so hard. And I think it's just not really talked about, like that type of just typical pain and vulnerability that people just wake up with.
So what do you do when you experience that? what's your
Well,
solution?
when it happened to me last Tuesday, I just felt it. Because I was like, you know what? All the pain or the suffering or the hard feelings, it's all information. And so I really just like surrendered to it. Because I was like, you know, like I don't even want to bribe myself to accept this by being like, you know what? Like, okay, like today sucks, but tomorrow's gonna be good. And we've got this going on and da-da-da. I was just kind of like, you know what? Whatever you're feeling, like I feel like the universe hands it to you so that you can have the information to proceed to either to help yourself and help others with it. Make it into something else on a different day. So I just was sad all day.
Did you call
Go
anybody?
exercise
Yeah.
or go outside or you know,
Yeah.
or sometimes just go to bed. Like sometimes
Yeah,
I'm
so-
like, I'm just gonna go to bed.
Call it. I know.
Tomorrow
You just
I'm
want
gonna
to
wake up
call
and
it.
be
Like I
fine.
wanted to call it, but the minute I woke up, I was like, should I just not get in bed today? And I was like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I guess that's not really the right advice.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like exercising always
Yeah.
does it for me. I'm like, I'm gonna get up and get dressed and go out there and like
What's
move my
your
body.
exercise? Just
And
wondering.
well, I've always like.
I'm trying to get tips at this stage too.
Well, I change it up because I get bored, you know. I was a ballet dancer my whole life, but I can't like keep up with the ballet anymore because my knee hurts or whatever. And then I was doing Pilates for a long time, and I try, you know, yoga sometimes. And now I kind of got into CrossFit actually, like working out with guys, because it's like it was a change of atmosphere. I was suddenly like, I'm so tired. I've been doing Pilates for 12 years. I don't. I'm done, you know. And I one day walked into a CrossFit gym. I was like, I want to learn how to do lunges and squats, and I want to do kettlebell swings. And they were like, okay. And I just love it. All the guys walking
Even
around
the way you
shirtless,
say
eating
it.
power bars. And like, it's entertaining to me, and I like it. And so, you know, maybe I'll change to something else when I get bored of that. But, you know, I like to try new things.
Would you ever do the CrossFit Olympics?
No way. No. In fact, some
I didn't even know there
my
were.
trainer,
I know.
sometimes my trainer says, you're a little bit CrossFit today.
What are the CrossFit
Actual
Olympics?
CrossFit.
I didn't even know that.
It's really, you know, CrossFit, it's like everyone's probably laughing right now because the whole thing about CrossFit is people talk about it all the time.
Oh, really? That's like being
But I
vegan.
don't
All
really,
we
yeah,
do is
it's
talk
the
about
same
that
thing. It's like
vegan
CrossFit and veganism, you know.
Hello, my name is Vegan.
Nice to meet you.
Back to your bad day. Was that Thorn? I mean, I guess, but that just comes with life, good days and bad days. And something that actually kind of a gift I received recently was someone told me, you know, just be careful when you're having a bad day or when you're having a good day and like when you're making your decisions. And the greatest thing you can do is actually just tell someone, let me sleep on that.
Oh, great
Or like,
idea.
give me a, you know
I
what?
got that in my human design reading too.
I'll get that. I got that same advice.
Save as draft.
Yeah.
Save as
If you're, you know, if the stock market crashed and you lost all your money, like then any offer you get that day, you're negative and you're going to say no to. If all of a sudden it's like you're so in love, it's the best day of your life, you want to say yes to everything. So it's actually when she told me that, I was like, that's such a gift just to know that and to now to understand like, let's just let's just like give myself the gift of time.
I agree with that. I also would say that calling your friends, because there's scientific studies that say that all you need is a 20-minute conversation. It doesn't have to be about anything at all. It can be. It doesn't have to be about the subject that you might be upset about. It just has to be a conversation with someone who you trust, who you can co-regulate with.
Human interaction.
Yeah, and it has to be someone you can trust. So you call someone you can trust and you have a conversation. Yeah, you can. Patty's here. Patty's here. I think it must be
I just
Patty.
thought that was like so good. You got like
Patty! Welcome, Patty. Come on in. Congratulations, Patty. Oh my God. Thank you so much for coming.
So great to be here.
Welcome.
So nice to meet you.
Yes, it's nice to meet you.
Awesome.
I'm Katy, also known as Catherine.
Oh, I know. I'm a big fan.
The whole world knows that.
This is so great. What's up? Oh my God, this is so awesome. So crazy.
Thank you for the song.
This is Patty Dinkins.
So good to meet you.
It takes you out of that negative space.
Hi, Gia. Nice to meet you. Hi, my dear.
How are you? Such a big congratulations. Oh my goodness. So happy for you.
How are you? I'm Mia.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, Katy.
Oh my
I'm
God.
Sia.
I have to come and give you a hug, Sia. I'm sorry to do it, but
Hi, nice to meet you.
We can do a little snuggie. Me and Nuggie can give you a snuggie.
I'm so excited to meet you. Awesome job. I love it. Thank you.
Me and Kristen.
No.
Okay.
No, I want to hear your rose.
Okay.
But I don't
Should we
know.
start going in the circle?
Yeah, well, no,
we did it
whatever.
for-
Whoever wants
We
to
did
go.
it for her.
Next, I'm just thinking about like people being able to all share within the meal.
Did you really? You did
If
that?
they
Yeah,
want
me
to.
and Lab saw it again.
Why did I not know that?
What's that?
They sang it live? They sang
We went to see Wonder Woman.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And it was super fun. We went with Kristen Wiig and Labyrinth, who
Yes.
we did
Love him.
we did the end
We
credits
did
song
do the song, yeah.
for her movie. And
So to be human, right?
yes, and Kristen Wiig was like, "You should sing it. You've got to sing it. You've got to sing it. Like you've just got to sing it. You got to sing it at the top of your lungs at the end of the movie."
You did it?
So we did.
Oh,
So me and Lab did it. We just did it. Most people had left, but we did it for who was left.
And what do they think?
I'd like to think they liked it.
They liked it.
It's very Sia.
I bet they died.
It felt fun. It's such a good fun
I
song
heard
to
the
sing.
song 50 or 60 times today because my son was
You
in
poor
his room.
thing. I'm so sorry. That's gonna ruin it for anybody.
So much. But my son literally listened to it over and over again today
How
because
old
he
is
just
he?
sort of heard it for the first time not long ago. 8. Yeah.
Well, when I get out of this safe place that I've created, or also known as it can be sometimes a cage, I am going to see Wonder Woman. It's
She
the
said
first
it's
thing
the
I'm
first
doing.
thing she's gonna do.
Thank you.
I'm gonna just
I
like.
saw it. It was amazing.
Thank you.
I googled like
Thank
karate
you.
near me for like 2 hours after.
You what?
I googled karate near me for like 2 hours.
Are you serious?
Everything was like, oh, you're just like, and then you saw that meme floating around on the internet that was like, no wonder like white guys feel like they can just like do anything. Like I saw like Wonder Woman 1, and all of a sudden we're ready to like bare knuckle like fight people.
I'm one of those people that goes to a movie and I'll adopt the feeling of the movie for the rest of the evening. Like that's why I still
There's
haven't
flipping
seen
table.
Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah.
I still like won't watch it. I'm like I can't do it. I don't know, but everybody comes out of there losing their mind. Like they have to be put to bed, and I'm like I'm not doing it. I'm still not gonna do it.
Yeah, there's a list of films I would suggest you don't go see. But I know what you mean. It is. It's like if you're an emotional person and you suck it in.
Empath.
Empath. Well, we're going around the table, and Nina is the wonderful chef over here. And
Hi.
tell us your sous chef again.
Zena.
Zena.
Or Xena, warrior princess.
Yeah.
That's what Ubera calls her.
And we're she's made a wonderful meal inspired by some female heroes of hers. And we're all enjoying it. And we're going around the table, and this is Cleo Wade. And she's helping everyone talk about the rose and thorn of
Girlhood to womanhood, or coming into a sense of sisterhood. So I'm going to do my rose, and then I'm going to pass it maybe to Diara.
I'll be ready by then.
Okay. Because I want everyone to be able to share. So my rose, my rose, I think, is the culmination of girlhood to womanhood and sisterhood, is that I realize that the second you just decide you want to be better at being in community with women, it's so easy. It's like, but it is just a conscious choice and decision, and it's actually the most empowering choice and decision you could ever make, and it changes your life. Like, I just remember a few years ago waking up and being like, I could be better at this. Like, I could be a better friend, a better sister, a better daughter, better to strangers, just better at all of this, and it's like, that's not even that hard. And that really changed my life. It changed how I work, it changed all my friendships, it made them so much stronger and more beautiful and more loving. And it changed my relationship with myself. So that's my rose.
Thanks, Mighty.
Thank you. So,
Okay, I'll go now. So my thorn, I guess, the past couple months have been interesting for me and the world. So it's nice that your album came out, because this is being any joy at this point is super, super helpful. So
Thank you.
Thank you for the music, and thank you and you too, Mia. Put a little something on it.
Yes, Mia. Mia's a co-writer on Tsunami. Check it out. It's sexy. It's wonderful. It'll make you ripple till you're wavy.
So I think my thorn has been, it's really just in a time where you just want to be kind of upset and angry. I mean, it's kind of like this bad day, but like, it's like 6 months of bad day. But it's kind of, you know, thinking through that, thinking through how difficult it is, you know, for all of us in this room just to walk around as women in this world, not having the examples of what we have with your film. I mean, I remember growing up with Linda Carter, but I mean, that was like eons ago at this point, that for us to have like strong representation of like what women, just women generally, like who we are, what we can be, what we can accomplish. Exactly. So I think, you know, for me, like the thorn right now is, it's kind of just in the noise. It's just in the noise of the everyday. And so even as women, as we try to connect, as we try to build community, the patriarchy and even women, other women, try to stop us from building that community. So I think for me, it's really just been trying to have really intentional, open conversations with the women in my life and just the women that I encounter, and just to say, you know, listen, you may not be a feminist, or you may not identify with the way that I, you know, live in the world. But that doesn't mean we can't have an open dialogue about anything. And so I've been finding, though, and this kind of leads to my rose, I've been finding, though, when you do approach a conversation with openness and love and kindness, something always blossoms, and I need me to do that.
Because all humans have the same needs, actually.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And that transcends everything.
Right. And I think, you know, and we've all, you know, kind of just a friend group have been having the discussion about just continuing to create open dialogue and the space for open dialogue, and particularly right now in this country where things just seem so, you know, just so completely, it just seems impossible to like have a conversation with somebody that doesn't necessarily have your same political views or background, etc. So it's just, I've been encouraged by just having very open conversations, and just also approaching a conversation with just thinking that person is just, has the best intention. So instead of going into it and like they say something, you're like, what? So don't even, you don't even, Mia, yeah, you don't even. So it really is just kind of like, particularly with women, and like just, you'd be surprised how many young girls and women are watching. I mean, they're watching us right now, but watching us in the everyday, and just those little things, smiling at somebody when you come in the room, speaking and saying hello, and like, don't be that girl to be like, well, I'm gonna wait for her to come over here before I say hi.
Yeah.
We ain't got time. We don't have no time for that. So yeah, okay. So yeah, so I think all that blabbing, yeah, I think my rose and thorn were in there somewhere.
For a moment, so the food doesn't get too cold.
Yeah.
And let you know what's on the table.
Sure.
We have a little rosemary thyme roasted chicken with a little watermelon radish, and it's sitting on a caramelized carrot puree. Clearly not vegan, but it's the only dish on the table that's not vegan. We have some little baby broccolini with some Calabrian chilies and some confit garlic. And then we have the vegan entree, which is a black chickpea crema, but no dairy in there, made with black chickpeas. I don't know if you've ever had those. They're delicious. And a little Romanesco steak, and then some asparagus and lentils. I think Nevada is going to help us out again over here because our serving utensils are a little bit small, so you will carry it around, and you can kind of take
a man
what
of
you like.
equality.
And then we have some.
We love a man of equality.
We have some house-made focaccia as well. The fluffier one is actually the gluten-free one, and then the crispier one is the delicious gluten-full one.
I'm getting gluten-full.
Now I know.
I'm focaccia about my gluten problem today.
Which one is the gluten?
I'm focaccia about it.
But you know what I found
Oh, I would wiggle my glasses, but I bought the child's one.
So there's like a little.
Far enough back.
This one?
You know what I found too, Diara, though, is that sometimes it's like when you walk into that room where you're so sure that like maybe women aren't going to be open or receptive to another woman, you have to like get rid of that energy right away. So like sometimes I'm just like, I'm releasing the energy of like what this could be, and like gonna instead hold the energy of what I know it has the potential to be. You know, and I'm gonna be like, and when we walk in, it's gonna be cool, and it's gonna be loving, and it's gonna be awesome. And that is a game changer. Like, bring the energy you want to see. You know?
Because when you release that in you, then you can release that in the person that you're.
Yeah.
I'm definitely guilty of walking into rooms and going, if somebody just came over and said hi, I'd be really happy to meet them, but not doing it myself. And being like, why isn't somebody
making
just
the first move?
yeah, make the first move? Yeah.
But I think that's a conditioning
Yeah,
that we
no, it
have
definitely
as
is.
women.
I don't know
Yeah.
a single person doesn't have it, myself included. Like, I had to just like stop doing that.
Right.
Like, I had to be like, okay, like you go over, and then I still have to talk in my head, before being like, okay, so just gonna be weird, and it's like just smile really big. It's like a Mia just want to walk and be like, hi.
And you do walk in the room and you're like, hi world, I'm here.
Yes. Mia's like, well, I am here.
Would you like some?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Anyone want to go next?
Do you want me to hand this plate over to get
Spin the bottle.
Oh, Mia, I can hear it.
Are you brewing, Mia?
No, I was just excited about the chicken.
Is anyone ready to share?
Thank you so much.
I'll go so that I don't feel stressed out about going.
And you get to enjoy it when everyone else is talking.
Oh, that's actually really true. I'm gonna go soon. I'm gonna go soon.
Otherwise, you're
like
just
whispering
thinking
to me
about
earlier,
yours.
do you want to go next? And she's like,
No!
Would you like some?
Can you explain to me again what it is I'm doing?
In life?
Yes.
Can someone tell me why I'm
Can you
here?
explain to me again exactly what I'm doing?
Yeah, so you're going to give a rose and a thorn that speaks directly to your experience of like moving from girlhood into womanhood and understanding those things. So like the good, the bad, the ugly, the unexpected,
right.
or in your relationship to sisterhood.
Right, all right. Well, I guess probably the thorn is probably hitting bottom as an alcoholic and drug addict. And certainly I was a girl before I got sober. And that, I guess, moving through that pain and learning that sort of we're designed to feel our feelings. And I had been sort of trying to avoid my feelings through drink and drugs. If I just didn't realize that they wouldn't kill me. And I thought that, is it difficult to take me seriously with my glasses?
No, it's wonderful.
So glad.
I think it'd be weird now if you didn't.
It would be. So I think probably that learning that we are designed to feel our feelings.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
That we are actually, that they cannot kill us. That sitting in discomfort, as you referenced earlier, sitting in the feelings or the, sadness or whatever, that it is a part of the acceptance process. But that in becoming a woman part, the rose, I guess, was learning about connection and learning about, learning how to trust other people, learning how to reach out when I'm in discomfort and make a call. I guess that there's, learning some compassion for myself, and also learning, just how to notice if I'm uncomfortable before it gets to a point where it's overwhelming. Yeah. So it's developing some awareness around discomfort and trying to call people before it gets to out of the window of tolerance, Yeah. So just awareness, I guess, is the rose, is awareness, is an attempt, attempting to have awareness. And awareness about others' feelings. Yeah. But the real rose is learning to show up for people. Yeah, and show up for all the people in my life who've shown me kindness, for friendships, for work, for just learning how to say something and then do it.
Amazing.
The end.
That's amazing, because then people
The
never
beginning.
Because when you just do what you say you're going to do, no one ever has to guess about your character.
Totally. Yeah, totally.
That's the, you meet very few people that do that. Like, say they're going to do it and then actually do it.
Yeah. And the biggest blessings I find are the people who don't make you wonder. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's just a safe place.
Yeah.
Such a safe place. If someone can say what they're going to do and then actually do it.
You know what I think too, though? I think as women, and what this is, Cleo has helped me with this, but just saying no.
Yeah.
Because people ask me to do, I would do all the things. Of course, I'll do that. And then I'm depleted and can't do anything
And you're
for
not
myself.
doing anyone any favors either.
Well, as women, we multitask like crazy.
Yeah.
We have to learn to be like, just because I have the capacity to do this doesn't mean it's my responsibility to do this. Right? You know?
And to always make yourself, I think, the first responsibility, which I think I think as women, a little bit we're programmed to like take care of people, and you have to remember to take care of yourself first.
Well, because then we're awesome at taking care of everybody else. You know, you don't have to think about it. It's just like a natural loving reflex. Because you're like, when I'm like full and happy and taking care of me and my self-care is like,
you're like, love.
You're taking care of, you're good.
You get some love. I can't wait till.
But you know, I love to cheat with that because I'll call Cleo and I'll be like, please, someone asked me to do X, Y, Z. And she's like, no.
What's that?
I'll call Cleo and I'll say, someone asked me to do X, Y, Z. She's like, no. I'm like, but don't you think? No. And then, so I feel like when I'm saying no to that person, it's really Cleo saying no.
Cleo says I can't. My mom says I can't.
Finding boundaries as a woman is so difficult to do.
But that's why you have to turn your nose into a hell no. Like, because then you're just, you know for sure. You know, like if your hell yeses are like hell yeses, your hell no's are very clear. So like, don't have those maybe yeses. You have to be like, hell yes. Like, that is like, that serves me, that's in my power. Like, that makes me feel amazing, purposeful, like in service to others. And then if anything's anything but that, it's like, hell no.
I'm just eating a bit of my mustache. I'm sorry. Whenever I'm laughing, I'm not laughing at anyone
these little
talking.
giggles, right?
It's literally that I'm trying to work around my facial accoutrement.
Are you got it?
I'm eating parts of my face.
Oh my God.
I mean, you got some serious.
Hilarious. Or I'm just laughing that I'm wearing it.
Right. Oh God. There we go.
But
Wardrobe
just please don't
malfunction.
think I'm laughing at anybody.
At least you can laugh at yourself.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
That's the best laugh.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Right?
You know what's also, maybe I'll just go.
Just go.
Yes, queen.
I'll start with a rose because it comes off of this thought.
Yes,
which
queen.
is actually saying no. And I think that's my rose, is like going into womanhood, and not really also because for yourself, but also for other people. Because I feel like a yes to someone that you're not committed to, and it's not something that you want to do, and something you're passionate about, isn't really, you're not giving them the justice.
You're doing them a disservice,
Yeah, exactly.
and you're abandoning yourself simultaneously.
It's a double-edged sword.
So I think understanding that as like we become women, and I'm still becoming a woman, I think, is a beautiful rose.
I'm not a girl.
Sorry.
Not yet a woman.
So my thorn,
Would you like some fart factory?
By the way, I'm like sleeping in this house by myself.
Oh my God.
And I take my microphone off and I just let it rip.
I'm a fart person.
I tried for years to get you to stop talking about farting at dinner. And she just won't.
I'm gonna be myself.
Thank goodness.
I forgot my thorn.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I don't know. It's just my dorky 11-year-old
No, my
wife.
thorn just didn't feel as bad anymore. No, I was trying to think of something when I got the memo earlier today, and what I was thinking about was like coming into womanhood. That's really hard, is taking, okay, I think from being a girl to being a woman, one of the huge differences for me is like to stop relying on people and asking people to do things and do them yourself. So I know that there's things that I can do myself, but it's easier to ask someone for help with them. Like, or someone's just right here like, oh, could you hand me that? Or, oh, you know, you're really good at this, maybe you could do that. So I think for me, entering womanhood is like, making that conscious decision of doing those things myself, even if they're hard for me, or even if they put me in a little bit uncomfortable place, or even if I have to work harder or learn more.
Then you'll know when you actually need the help. So it's like, because we still have to be able to ask people for help, but if we're just so used to just trying to like delegate out everything, like we don't know how to like put our own, like, you know, make our own tools and build our own thing and then say like, hey, actually, it'd be really, you'd make this amazing if you helped with it, rather than being like, you should just do it. Could you just do that for me? You know?
And then also how beautiful it is when you realize like you've built that home yourself. You've built that thing and you actually know that you took all those steps and you didn't take shortcuts, or you didn't ask someone to do those things, and you did the growth, or you did whatever it was to get there. So it's a thorn because it's hard and it's like it pricks you as you're going and you want to just like let it go. But
It's so beautiful.
there you go.
I do have one now.
I just started here. Katie and I just started staring at each other at the same time.
Well, it's awesome because actually hearing all of this, it's made me realize like my thorn and my rose are all very present right at this very moment. Because I think there's so many there's so many artists here, and I think you know you guys were touching on it before. I have always been so interested in how universal art is. Like if you ring a bell of yourself, it reaches out and you're like, wow, I'm ringing this bell inside of me, and this person across the world who has no shared experience with me hears that bell just as I do someone who wrote something 1,000 years ago. Right. What is that, you know? But I have very big tastes and big passions, and so I grew up very drawn to like grand drama and great comedy and big rich things. But it is true that, and I actually believe completely in the universal. So I'm like, listen, just the same way I respond to that exists out there. But, and so what I believe I have to offer is universal. However, it's also a little bit different because I'm a woman. And so, yes, I have big, strong tastes, but I wasn't seeing that much, you know, like, I wasn't seeing that much massive drama on a huge scale that was exactly my taste. And so I think the thorn was that that while I had those tastes, it was not always easy for other people around you who are paying for things or financing things or whatever to legitimize your bell. You know, and so you're like, no, I'm just trying to ring my bell and it's big. But their choices might be 100 times different and tiny little choices. And I actually had I was very supported making this movie, but I had this great moment right near the end about a song. It was such a small thing where I liked a song and a bunch of different people on the crew were like, we don't like the song. And I was like, well, but you're all 60-year-old men. And at some point, when I know not one of you watched Wonder Woman, like I have to go with my own gut here and like, I like it. And that's what I want to do, and it's not any disrespect or anything. It's like, and so I think the thorn was not really knowing how to ring your own bell and find a space for it. And the rose is that when I've rung the bell with this movie, what's been so incredible, was that it was me by myself and many incredible artists with me, but still to then have the world come back and talk about the bell, blah, 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 and my sister and my family, and you know, not only women, but someone in a wheelchair and someone else, and I'm like, oh man, universality. It's also specific with each person, but then it's so incredible that truth coming into oneself and coming back out is universal, no matter how specific. And so that's, I think, been the most interesting journey to me, and I'm sure you guys too. You know, it's like everybody doing such specific things, and then they're realizing, wow, that's not actually specific. That's actually also universal. And so I think that's it. It's been a wonderful part of this week, you know, in one piece of art that I've done, saying, wow, okay, cool. You know, it brings everybody together again to talk about something.
Well, and it's really liberating to legitimize yourself, right? Because, you know, especially as women or artists, like, if you wait your whole life for someone else to be like, oh,
Ha ha ha. And you're like, if this was a movie, I'd be like, I go totally differently, but instead it's like nothing really goes like that.
I feel like that was such a moment, though. What didn't Angela Bassett play her? Who played her mom? I don't remember, but it was like a strong. That moment. I don't know. I love that moment.
Well, I
'Cause
also
was like,
loved the idea that the mother really objected to her being in a choir.
I know,
like
right?
as an
Of all
after
the
school
things.
activity.
And I was like all of, and they like all took their robes off.
Oh
and
yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
"We're just to be
But it's like a
real."
last
I
minute
was
thing.
like,
Be a dirty, got a glory lot of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before heavy as the son of God.
Son above?
Son of God.
I don't know. Whatever.
Feel the sun.
Love it.
Look. Drive the
home and watch
dark away. Drive it away.
I don't know.
We did it. We did it. We should watch it.
I'm on my second glass of wine. It's getting interesting.
Yes, Green. You know, Patty, I was gonna say, the universal truth
Party.
party.
Like auto text. Like auto text.
Patty is the party. She brought the party. No, but I love that universal bell because, like, so many times, you know, I've had this feeling, and I think a lot of you ladies have had this feeling that you just know. It's like an intuition that you know that, like, okay, I'm not always right, but I know my purpose. And I know my thing, and like I know that it rings and it has a ripple effect, and I know that I'm not so alone in like my problems, and I see that when I share that I have these problems or these sadnesses, and that people respond to it, and so like in your films and you giving those messages, I think are really important, and in music and in all art, you know, because I feel it doesn't make us feel so alone. You know, and I think on this planet we're here to be connected, like connected and seen and heard and witnessed, and that's what this is all about. Is like being seen and heard, and not to be like, you know, but it really is. Like I feel like, and this is just maybe me complaining, is that we're not really connecting anymore. We're so connected, but we're not connected at all. We're not connected, and it's so important for all of us, even in our small ways, in our small groups, with women and friends, to form these bonds, these little communities. This is a community right here.
And to open up your groups. Like,
Yes.
you know, the more friends and connectivity, like the more information, the more like, Tara Brock, I think actually says this, that inside of you, she says that like everything about you is already inside of you and you're just constantly taking blankets off of it and seeing it. And so a lot of the time it's the people around us as our mirrors who help us to like take those blankets off of what's in there.
You do that. You do that for me. You do that for me. Sometimes you'll check me and I love it so much because I love friends that can like hold space and still have healthy discourse, you know, that just don't kiss your butt or tell you you look great or whatever, but they like.
Oh no, tell me I look great.
You look great. But like one of my best friends who's not here right now, Shannon Woodward, for instance, okay? Shannon Woodward. She is such a strong woman, and I love her so much, and like she has taught me so much about what it means to be a woman. And like one time, because, you know, I don't know everything, and I'm learning, like, all along the way. Thank you so much, Nevada. I love you so much.
How much do you love Nevada?
He's a very kind gentleman, and I love it. But I'm just learning in real time, and I'm learning under a big microscope, and it's crazy sometimes. And I fail all the time. I put my foot in my mouth all the time, all that stuff. But, you know, one time I said I wasn't a feminist because I didn't know what that word meant. I really didn't. And I was raised, you know, with this idea that it was just like these angry women that were like not shaving their pits or like burning their bras. And the reality is, if you look up the word feminist in a dictionary, it really just says like someone that wants equality for women. That's it. And I said it one time, you know, because I just like I wanted so badly to like be in the girls' club, but not isolate men, because I believe that there are beautiful men out there that
And I know for sure we know for sure there are.
You're dating one of them.
Huh?
But there's beautiful men out there that support women, that lift them up, that help them, you know, that the women can take refuge in their wings as well. And like, I'm on a constant journey to find those beautiful men, and I can't wait to meet them. But, you know, I was saying this because I was trying to, like, you know, tick every box, because I'm a people pleaser. I love the people, right?
Yeah.
And I never want to, like, upset anyone's feelings. I have all good intentions. But I said, you know, I wasn't a feminist. And then it took one of my best friends to pull me aside. And I love her so much. She said, sweetie, I love you. And I just want to say, this is what this word means. And I was just like, oh, okay. And you can do that with your friends. You can do that as sisters. You can do that with friendships. And like, that's changed my life forever. And I'll be forever grateful for it.
Was that your rose?
No, but I can start again. My thorn, I guess, is that, you know, in the past, I've been judgmental of other women. And, you know, I think that could either be jealousy or ego, which I have a huge ego. I've inflated this ego. Katy Perry is a huge ego. I could just send one tweet to almost 100 million people right now. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry.
Will you tag me in it?
Yeah, okay. Love you, girl. Yes, but anyway, so this ego gets in the way. It really gets in the way sometimes, and you know, I can be judgmental sometimes of other women, and it's only based on appearance or looks and things like that, because I actually didn't like the way that I looked growing up. I didn't have any money, and I created this painted, rich, luxurious version of me because I didn't want to be that person. And so if anybody was that person or reminded me of that person, I would be maybe judgmental. Yeah. And so that was my thorn, and I have been, you know, getting over that, and I think I'm over it, and sometimes the universe tests me still, and I'm trying to get over it as best I can. And my rose is kind of similar, but is that women can be whatever they want. And what they want.
20 things at once.
And 20 things at once. And that's what I'm realizing now. It's people, you know, I'm a chameleon, and I even give the excuse, I'm a chameleon. I don't even have to say I'm a chameleon. I can just be whatever I want. Right. I can be whatever I want. I can change my hair. I can change my lipstick. I don't have to be just one thing anymore. And I could be changing my mind, and it's not because I have my period. And it's not because I am a woman. It's because I am creative. I want to try. I want to re-educate myself. I'm like the most curious cat in the world. You know, I am so curious. And so I'm realizing that I'm not just one thing. I'm all the things. If I want to be all the things, then I'm one thing. If I want to be one thing, it's up to me, and I can only control that. So that's my rose, and that's my thorn.
It's like making the most of your journey.
I guess you have one of them. So I'm gonna I'm gonna get all the stamps along the way. all the Girl Scout patches. I'm getting all of them.
I was imagining those yogurt shop stamps.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you buy one and you get a stamp every time.
And then you
at
do a
the end
10th
you get
one
a free
for
yogurt.
Yeah.
But with life.
Yes, that is exactly it.
But I do think that the way we judge others is a direct reflection of the way we judge ourselves. So anytime you're triggered by anything, what you should, and I try to do those kind of activities of reconciling my thoughts a lot. So it's if I have an instinct to judge something, I make a point to sit with why I wanted to judge it, to just match it. And I think that a lot of the times it's you can't control the thoughts that come up, but what you can then do is redirect to a healthy place. So it's I might
control
have
the action.
Yeah, and just what the next thought is actually.
Awareness.
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 I love shoulder roll awareness.
That's that's gonna.
One of the Girl
that's
Scout
our
badges.
perfume.
Awareness.
Awareness.
Who's got the next rose and thorn?
I can.
You gonna go, Camila?
Yes.
Great.
So what I wanted to say is, about the community that we were talking about and how people learn how to relate to others. And I don't know if you guys know, but on the fan base, Katy is the mother and everybody is brother and sister. And that was the first like contact that I had with this stop, like not making other women like your enemy. They're like your friend and your sisters. They are my sisters. And I stopped like, I'm not gonna talk to her until she comes and talk to me. I started talking to them because I felt like I was related to them. And that was the first contact that I had with this. I stopped looking at other women like they were my enemies. They were like my sisters because of all of it, because of the community that we have, the fan base and all that. And I guess that for me, the most difficult part of being a woman, like when I actually stopped to think that I am a woman, was when I had to move to another country. I had no one, my mother wasn't here, my sister wasn't here, so I had to be a woman. And that was difficult for me, so that was very difficult for me. But then, right now I can say that I have a house and I built it. It's like, it's mine. I did it all. I didn't have to ask for help, but I could. I know that I have sisters that I can ask for help if I need to.
Awesome.
Yes.
Oh, where?
So beautiful.
So sweet about
You live in South Carolina?
It is really like that.
How long have you lived in South Carolina?
3 years. Oh, I lived in New York first for 2 years, and now
Did
I'm.
we meet in New York before?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's my first time
Okay, never mind.
meeting Katy, so.
Okay.
Sorry.
Soul sees soul.
Yeah, that's a bit skewed.
But I love you.
I love you too.
Sorry. Again, it's something glasses. My depth of perception is a little bit skewed. So I just slammed a glass on the table. Some people might have thought I was mad, but it's just
I thought you were happy.
the depth of perception issue. Who hasn't gone?
Anna just goes,
The ones with the glasses and
she's like, feelings. What about jokes? Jokes. By the way, I love you so much.
Aw, shut up.
That's me. Like, by the way, I never ever find other people that can do that. I do that. I'm like, when I find someone, I'm like, I know you. You know me. Hide.
Well, actually, I think a thorn sometimes is that I've found this, occasionally with women, but more so with men, is actually an objection to my kind of worldview and the fact that I do
Have one?
I dated a guy who I was making a joke about something as per usual, and he kind of said, do you know you use humor as a defense mechanism? And I was like, get fucked. Sorry. But
not by me.
Sorry.
Don't worry. We're on 20 seconds.
Get a life.
But I did feel like, should I change that? Like, am I not supposed to? Is that something I'm not supposed to do? And I think that some men have seen me seen that as like something I'm not supposed to like about myself, like that it's something I'm supposed to be changing. And there are a lot of things I want to change about myself. There's a lot I don't like about myself, but my brain and my wit and my defense mechanisms are not one of them, and I like my armor. I built my armor, and I can take it off, but I like it. I earned it. I made it. And like that's been something that I've struggled with, and actually that kind of leads into my rose, and because I have some girlfriends who really accept that, and they accept that I choose moments to take off my armor, but that I like it and they like it too. And the girls that I make the Pitch Perfect movies with, you know, we've done these movies together for like 6 years now, and we've grown a lot together. And this last one was really exceptional, and I think part of it is just a product of getting older, and I think part of it is just, you know, we realize we have bigger fish to fry, and going from girls who would talk about like what drink has the least calories in it to like talking about like, oh, are you thinking about freezing your eggs, and like talking about like the Deputy Attorney General and intersectional feminism, and like just growing with these women where I do think we started as girls, and now our conversations are like, if you know told me that I'd be talking about like freezing my eggs with some of these girls, I wouldn't have believed you. So
I like to say I'm putting my eggs on ice until I'm about that life.
Yeah, exactly. And they love all parts of me, and I love all parts of them, and that's been amazing.
So beautiful.
Thanks, guys.
Wow, that was brows. Isn't it funny how men make you feel bad? Oh, yum. About
It's hilarious.
It's like the best things, parts about us, though. Like our wit and our humor, and they want to make us feel bad about it. Not I'm generalizing.
Not all men.
I'm generalizing.
Not all men.
But also
But I think
And aren't I helping you
But I think
by
it's
pointing
just
out
the
this flaw?
conditioning. I think it's just like how we're conditioned, they're conditioned the same. So I don't mean to say
Yeah,
people are
exactly.
all
They don't
bad.
have the tools sometimes.
Exactly.
But people don't have the tools sometimes too. I don't think it's men or women,
Yeah.
and that's why women are mean to women sometimes
Yeah.
as
Do
well.
you want me to
It's no
undo you?
different.
Yeah.
Or not undo me, but just turn my mic off.
Yes. She has to pee. The whole world wants to hear it.
I think sometimes though too, people just want to control your sparkle, you know, and
There
I
you
feel
go,
like
baby.
when they feel that, it makes them feel like secure with being with you.
Yeah.
And so, you know, your humor
Tia.
is obviously like this hugely sparkly thing about you,
here.
and like
This
that
is a
light
safe
is like
one.
what everyone's just kind of like, like you just want to like literally get closer to you. Like every time you're like talking about Sister Act 2, I'm just like closer, you know. And so I think that for people who may not feel, you know, secure or totally.
I think
equal to
I
you.
think it can be a very taming of the shrew kind of complex.
What does that mean exactly?
It's I guess it's like you want to break a wild horse
Yeah.
or something.
And I have a theory about this that
Yeah.
has been brewing for many, many, many years. Love is scary.
Yeah.
And when you're in love, this is a fascinating human dynamic I've been obsessing about for a long time. To be in love is when total fear equals interest, right? And the first thing one tries to do is kill the fear. So stop the fear, stop the fear, stop the fear, stop the fear, stop the. But if you do it, the love's gone, right? And so it's an endless battle between fear and desire, and every single human being wants to conquer the fear. And so they will do anything to conquer the fear. If you're making them uncomfortable, stop it, do this. But the second they win that battle, something's dead. And so it's not only something that one can identify in other people, particularly because this is like a pretty powerful group of women, and you're going to trigger it in a lot of people, and that's the way it is. But the bigger thing is you have to conquer it in yourself.
Yeah.
Because the men that you will meet that are truly interesting, you're never going to get over the fear. They could always leave you. They could always change their mind. You could always, and you have to not learn to feel completely safe. You have to learn to say, I choose to step forward another day, despite that, and like be present. And it's like, to me, it's such an interesting thing, and it comes up in my directing all the time, because I'm always like, if you want two people to be truly attracted to each other, they can't ever get comfortable. You know, because the second, it's funny, if you try to direct a romantic scene, if anybody in the
Mia, look at Mia's face is like,
if
she's
anybody
all
in
about
the romantic
this.
scene goes, hey man, you're like, you're not that into her.
Yeah.
Not that into her. You would never act like that if you were, because if you're into that girl, you're gonna
Yeah.
go, hey man, whatever,
Yeah.
man. Anyway, I don't even care. That's fine. You know, it's like, it's a fascinating thing, and that's probably life completely, is like fear. Our entire life goal is to stop fear, and you'll never stop fear. You'll never stop fear. And if you do, you'll stop living.
But I want to.
I know, me too. And I struggle with it every day too. Every day. We all do, but at least now, like I think about it when it comes to love in particular. Like,
Well, because love is like an irrational commitment, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, and the second you can accept that about it, that it's basically especially if you commit to like lifelong love, it's an experiment.
Yeah.
It's a lifelong experiment. which I think is actually a freeing way to look at it.
I think too, this fear, I'm gonna go to the Church of Angela Davis, who's my favorite soul cycle instructor.
Oh yes, shout out Angela Davis. We all know about you.
But Jeremy and I were in our class
Today?
No, 2 days ago. But I don't even know why I'm doing that because they're just going to be more.
Is really named Angela?
Her name is Angela Davis. Yeah, but of course now the waiting list is going to be even longer. But she was talking about as we were sweating and dying, she was talking about stepping into your discomfort. So. You know, obviously there's a path for all of us.
I love she's using that for Soul Cycle.
What's that?
I don't even, I will talk hours about her.
What's that?
But your soul cycle teacher?
Yeah.
Angela Davis.
Yeah. She was talking about how there's something waiting for us, and the only thing that stops us from getting there is us being afraid of being in discomfort. Yeah. And it's like
being in our own way.
Exactly. So if you just get through that discomfort, just think of like what is waiting for you, because so many times it's like, oh, I'm just gonna stay in this job because I'm comfortable, and I'm not gonna start especially as women, I'm not gonna start my own business, or I'm not gonna pursue this movie, or I'm not gonna write this record. Like there's so many things that just.
Or even in the small ways, like it's gonna be uncomfortable for me for 5 seconds if I have to walk over to her first in the room.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like, we just don't even want to be uncomfortable even for like those 2 minutes. Because the second you actually just make eye contact and connect and whatever, you don't really feel weird that you walked over. You actually feel like, oh, I did the right thing. Like, I acknowledge, hey.
That's all like fear.
Right.
Fear of doing that, fear of that. And,
Yep.
and
It's all
fear of
related.
the love. But
Yep.
I think what's beautiful is like to embrace fear, right? That's like the only way to be in that relationship
yes,
and
I
to
love
love
that.
Embrace that life is all things always.
Yeah.
You will never escape any of them.
No.
So you have to
Yin
learn
and yang.
how to
all
live.
things always.
Negative.
It's
and
always
positive.
going to be scary. It's always going to be love. It's always going to be all those things. And there's no world without them.
No.
You know.
Is it
And if
possible
you try to shut one down, it shuts down life.
I'm thinking now I'm
divine
going to need
dichotomy.
all of you all to talk into a camera every night before I go to sleep.
I used to think
How
that
long
like
can we use these again?
Yeah, the invention would have been like a
Did you
sleep
buy
machine that
these
was
or rent
Morgan
these?
Freeman's voice, just like reading any book.
Yeah.
Like, because his voice is just so soothing.
Yeah.
Like, if you could, Morgan Freeman, if you could just like have a sleep machine that was like, no, Morgan Freeman's gonna read. Like,
I'm sure it exists.
The power of now.
Google, please find me that device. I'd like to go to sleep with it tomorrow.
Tonight, by your bed.
Wait, Dita, have you?
Our last rose and thorn is here.
I keep bouncing over all these different ideas of what I was going to talk about. And,
Have we taken them all?
Oh.
No, I mean, I just sort of like, my first thought was like, okay, when I was initially thinking about this, my thorn, I felt was like, okay, when I was a little girl, I wanted to be a ballerina, but I was never very good at it, you know, and I thought about all these things that I wasn't very good at, like I can't sing, I can't act, I'm not really a very good dancer or anything, but I always thought about like how, in a way, I got everything I ever wanted to be, but in a different way than what I requested from the universe, you know? I wanted to be a ballerina, I wanted to have flowers and champagne and nice outfits and costumes, and I wanted to, like, you know, be on stage, and I, you know, but I was,
that's hard.
I was like really, you know, not a good dancer, like, you know, but I wanted it, you know. And I thought about this, like, you know, a few years ago, and I was like, wow, I kind of got all those things that I wanted about ballet, like all the things that I named, but I didn't get to be a ballerina. But I got to be a striptease star and write a different story that actually was better for me in the long run, because, you know, I have a different kind of longevity and and then I was thinking, my other thorn thing, I was thinking about an interesting conversation that I thought I wanted to ask you about too, is like reconciling, like, you know, being, you know, sexual and sensual, and, you know, being feminist.
Right.
It's like, this is like, sometimes they conflict, but it's an interesting time where we're all sort of, you know, we can have it all. Like, we're
That's
allowed
right.
to have it all.
That's right.
But we're still vilified in a lot of ways for, if you choose to be like, I'm going to be like this, then people will say, oh, you've gone too far. But, you know, there's a lot of these things that, you know, are not true for men, and it can be frustrating. And I, you know, I mean,
Who's to tell you how you can be sexually liberated?
right, it's
You
different
must
for
deal
everyone.
with that
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, in
That
a
must
way,
be-
but it's really interesting. I feel very lucky that, because, okay, I'm a lot of people probably don't know what I do, but I'm a striptease star. I'm a burlesque dancer. In the 1930s and 40s, this was entertainment for men. And now, my shows are predominantly women and the LGBTQ community, and it's like it's a phenomenon. Why, people sometimes will sit down in an interview and they're like, well, how does it feel to be objectified by men? I'm like, I don't really know.
They don't really come here.
I used to know because when I first started out, I was, and I watched this like shift, and I remember really well when there was a moment where I noticed that I had like this female following, like thousands of women following me suddenly. And I was like, this is a responsibility, and what do they want to hear from you? This isn't like in the 90s when you were working in the strip club and like, it's fun, but I suddenly realized people were looking to me for something, and what was my messaging going to be?
Wow.
And the responsibility of that, like, okay, they're looking at me, why? Because they see, a different version of what the mainstream media says is sexy or is beautiful. They're looking at me because they can dress up like me. You can put on red lipstick. You could do your hair. I mean, you can gather these elements of burlesque and retro glamour, and you can use them, but you can also wash them away, and you don't have to have plastic surgery to capture the spirit of it. So it just started making me think about why I first started doing this and performing striptease and posing as a pinup and looking at this sea of girls out there in the audience, different shapes and sizes, different ethnicities, different ages, all like embracing glamour and living for glamour and playing dress up and loving it. So I just felt like the Rose was really like my reasons for transforming myself into like life of glamour when I was a teenager, with red lipstick and so on. And why did I do that? Because I didn't feel confident about the way I looked. I felt like, as a mousy blonde from a farming town in Michigan, like, nobody talked to me, nobody look at me. And then I used it as a way of like finding,
coming out of your
I mean, I'm still just talking to you. I'm like, Heather Sweet from a farming town in Michigan right now, just like, I get nervous
Heather
talking about it.
Oh
but
my gosh,
it is
I love it.
So anyway, I don't know where I was going with
No, it's
it,
amazing.
But it's just like all these slew of thoughts. Or because I got to hear everyone, I was just thinking about all these things that I wanted to ask all of
But
you too about.
The whole point of feminism is so that women can do whatever men coming for them or other women coming for them. Like, it's so that you have the space and the place to be like, this is what it looks like. I think we get into a lot of trouble when we start saying like, this is what feminism looks like, or this is what it looks like, or this is my definition.
Has not worked.
We have to respect each other's ideas of what feminism are. It's like it's not all the same thing, right? It's like, but some people say like it's this, that,
And
the other.
that
It's
shift in so many women looking to you, it seems like there are probably a lot of women who want to be strong and also want to be sexy, and they see you and you're strong and you're sexy, and
But
then
I'm not always.
But they want
It's
to look.
like,
I mean, to
yeah.
me, that's almost like in and of itself, that's great, because if you're looking for a role model, it means that you are both things. And, we all can contain multitudes, and but the idea that like people were looking to you says, I want to be strong and sexy too. Can you please show me how, please?
I'm like, I'll show you.
I mean, honestly, like, here, can I just, Nina, would you like?
So good.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Cake disaster pin issue, but
No, it's looking
good.
Thank you
So delicious.
Thank you so much.
Raw cheesecake.
It's delicious. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for having us.
Nina,
Thank
thank you so much.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
it's been amazing to hear all of you, and it's been amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Your mustache enjoyed all of
Nina, when I come to your restaurant and act like I know you, is that okay?
Does Nina have a quick Rose and Thorn for us?
Yeah, Nina.
Well, it's funny actually, just being in the business that we're in, where it is so male dominated. So for me, it's been an interesting transition to. I kind of consider myself a humane chef, and that's actually been a struggle for me because.
What's that mean?
I've worked for some people that were really cruel, and that's how they run their kitchen. Like, it's just shaming, and and it builds like a brigade by all means, but for me, like, it really is love. The
I can
food is
taste
love.
this love.
Yeah, it's really, but I enjoy feeding people, and it's not like I'm not trying to make an insane statement. I really just enjoy that element of breaking bread, and so so it's just been interesting working with people where I'm now their boss. And some respond really well to that humane chef of, you know, like the loyalty is, I have an incredible, oh, is that not?
Speaking of loyalty.
So loyal. Purple. Yeah, no, but I have this little restaurant downtown LA, the Smiles de Alba, and I went to New York for the summer, and I left my team in charge, and they're like cruising, rocking, like it's love, it's a family, yeah. And then in New York, I'm at the Standard High Line, and it's more of, it's a different environment, much bigger, but it's been a battle to just like have that respect, and it's just frustrating that I have to work so much harder for it. I think as women, we always have to work harder for everything.
But we get to like feel our emotions.
Yeah.
We get our
and then
babies.
be the boss we wish
Yeah.
we would have had, you know?
Yeah, and then even just, I have a little 3.5-year-old that's like my life, my love,
Indigo,
everything,
right?
indigo. And just that balance of being a mother and leaving your child at home and knowing like, oh, I don't want to leave you, but I want to work, but it's like
You can
this
have it all.
duality. Yeah, you can have it all, but then you're also like missing out on moment. It's just.
You have to redefine
It's
what
an
it all looks like.
interesting,
Sure.
It's
You can
an
kind of have it all,
interesting
but not
sort of.
really.
Well, it's a
Exactly.
redefinition.
Your version of it, right?
Well, come on, there's no such thing as it all.
Right.
Anyways.
Yeah.
What is it all?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So food, love, I don't
What's
know.
your definition of it?
Yeah, a little, I don't know. It's all just one day at a time. That's all I can do right now. And hope that, I don't know, having a child that's watching her mom like hustle and grind and work hard and make beautiful food and feed her. I mean, this child is like, her taste, she cries in school when I don't put lemon and black stuff.
Oh my God! Also known as Mia Moretti.
Mia's like, am I your daughter?
I didn't cry once tonight.
So yeah, she's doing all right, and there's so much love, but it's just an interesting sort of being in this world, and I just, it's incredible to see all of you women strong, empowered, and setting incredible statements for the children. At the end of the day, like that's the motivation. That's what really that's the important part of it all, and the sort of political climate, obviously, and just it's overwhelming. So having a little human that I'm watching, that's looking at me, trying to grow up, and knowing that all of you exist is also really helpful for that. So
That's nice.
thank you. Thank you so much for having us. It was pretty
Amazing. Wonderful.
And come visit me at all my restaurants.
Yes.
Power women.
Yes, tell us what they're.
Down in the Arts District.
That's great.
Like a couple blocks over from Skid Row. No, just kidding. It's actually a really beautiful block down there. The Smiles de Alba. So it's a collaboration with the Smile guys from New York. Oh, I like that. And my mom's name is Alba. So a little ode to her. And then in New York, I'm at the Standard. Highline.
Gravy
Yeah. Good times.
Thank you,
Both
Nina.
times.
One slice, thanks for the food.
Oh, I'm so happy you enjoyed.
Here, I bought you this.
What is that? Yes! You're amazing. So lovely to meet you all. Thank you. Sorry. Knocked me out. I was just happy that you showed up and you could actually eat. I was like, how's it gonna work? Like, snap my hair.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's right. Nevada did that like 20 times tonight. You're the man, Nevada.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Come visit me. Yes, I never forget a face. I always forget a name, but I'll never forget a face.
Me too. Honestly, me too.
Tucked in.
That's what's important, though.
Got under your lace business. I know. It's gone.
How do you do it?
Here,
Women helping women unplug.
pull it up just so I can get to
And
it.
relieve themselves.
Yes.
Here it comes.
It's so funny that it's so complicated.
Yeah,
I
we just
just want-
unscrew it.
I
and
think
then I'll
as we're
screw it
finishing
back.
our dessert, the very sensual flower
There we go.
dessert, I wanted to
My camera's behind the
speak
fridge.
on the
Sexual.
sexual. Yeah, I
I feel like we, as women, don't really talk about that
Can I?
Ever.
Yeah.
Wait,
I know.
did we interrupt you? Did you?
No, I was
finish your-
rambling anyway.
No, you're
But
right.
you did. Did you do Rose and Thorn?
Yeah. No.
I think so. I mean, I was originally thinking, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we didn't cut you off.
For sure, not at all.
No, I just was like, what does like healthy sexuality look like? Because I wasn't raised with it. Like I can I be honest? And I'm gonna be honest with the whole world. I thought I had like 8 holes.
Amazing.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? Sorry, I didn't know that. Like
She meant piercings.
And like I also thought you got pregnant by just the touch of it. I really did, and like I didn't know how to use a tampon. I didn't know any of that stuff. No one taught me how to do it. And so like when I finally figured out what that looked like, I kind of started I realized like sexualizing myself was like this attention grabbing thing, and I would like over sexualize myself as a young girl, and it went into my 20s and it went into my career, just like over sexualizing and not like really feeling my sexual power or knowing my sexual power, but using it as a manipulative tool. Unfortunately, because I didn't understand what it was. And it's taken me like 31 years to realize that it's not that. It's actually something to be so proud of, and that it is so beautiful, and it's a wonderful transaction if it's consensual and if there's mutual respect. And like at our primal level, that's what we it's one of the gifts that we're given, and one of the wonderful experiences, to have an orgasm is like having dessert, and it's amazing. I know everyone's like, oh, at home, they're like, what? She said she had 8 holes and she's talking about orgasms. Turn this thing off right now.
No, this is the good bit. We're finally down to the good stuff. Let's go.
But like, I think that like,
You forgive yourself though, right? Because that's unconscious and that's conditioning the whole.
yeah, of course I'm still forgiving myself every day.
I think a lot of the times I feel like I have to wake up and forgive myself every single day. Like for her, it was like last week, 2 years ago.
Same.
Like every thought, I'm
Same.
just like because also once you forgive yourself, you can move on and like step into the power of like redesigning your life. Because like that's the coolest thing about your life is that it's like constantly in a state of design, which means you can redesign it at any point.
Right.
But I think it's way more difficult to forgive yourself than to forgive someone else.
Sure.
Oh
I
yeah.
think so.
Question.
I'm not good at it. Yeah, but I will.
You're getting there.
I'm getting
You're there.
I guess the question is, are you sexy for yourself, or are you seeking validation from outside sources, or are you self-supporting through your own contributions?
What's so funny is I'm feeling myself. I'm single. I've been single for a while. This is maybe like the longest.
Not that long.
Okay, well listen, I'm a hopper.
Yeah, right.
So I'm usually one of those people that hops to the next one or has one waiting in line. I've got like 6 people I could text at any point and just be like, hey, you want to hang out? Blah, blah, blah.
This is an important.
Always. Always.
Amen,
And that's the thing is like, as I'm really becoming myself finally for the first time in my life, I'm not manipulating, or I'm not playing chess with anyone, and I'm not like I cut my hair. I cut my hair and I was like, I'm finally just like styling it for me. Like I'm finally just doing me. And like even in my relationships with gentlemen that I'm meeting along the way, like it becomes very clear if you are on the level or if you're not. And like I'm like, it's okay. God bless you on your journey, right? Hope you do the same for me. But like we're not on the same path. And like I wish everyone the best, and I just like, it's amazing once you step into your power that you've been giving away for so long. I've been giving away my power for so long to so many different people. Once you step into your power, you just realize that like all you need is yourself sometimes, and it's great to have a reflection and a partner as well, and a mirror, but you gotta have a whole you to be able to share anything. So I'm trying to go, and then I'm there.
Well, it takes more than like.
Okay, all right.
Stable's gonna be empty for a little bit.
But at least even
There's something nice about an empty house.
Yeah.
You know?
But even the aha moment is really, I think, can be helpful because that like is the shift.
All by myself.
You got us, babe.
I know. Just because, and that's the thing is like, you know, people will say to me, so you're single? And I'm like, oh, I'm single, but I am not alone. I mean, like, check my phone out.
You'll never find alone.
It's blowing up.
No, I promise.
To ask you that question after everything that you've accomplished is insulting.
Yeah,
Sure.
I find that too.
It's
about
just like,
those
oh,
women.
but you're not totally
not
fulfilled
totally
unless you're
happy,
with someone.
yeah.
Well, when people do, I mean, that's always like, and you want children? I'm like, yes, of course I do want children, of course. And like, you know, I think they want to be the first one to get the scoop or what have you. But, and I'm not like insulted because again, I mean, look, some people, they're just being silly, you know, but some people really don't know how to speak to women. They don't have the
I wish
tools.
somebody would write a book, like things not to say to women or people in showbiz in general. Like, I've been telling this story forever, but I was doing a show one night, and this girl that was maybe like, I think she was like 18. She was like a Playmate of the Year at the time. I'd just done a show. I was maybe like 35 or something, and she was like, I grew up watching you, and I was all like this, like, you grew up watching me. She made me feel so old. And I was like, yeah, I was like 8 and you were like amazing. And I was like, and all I could hear was like, you're old, you're old. And the next day after that, I was on an airplane with Lionel Richie, and we know each other because we've done the same parties and stuff. So he starts telling me this story about how he's like, I used to be in this band called the Commodores, and I went up to Dick Clark on American Bandstand, and I was like, you know, I grew up watching, my grandma loves you, my mom loves you. And he said, he looked him square in the eye, he goes, oh, well, I can't use the language. He says, you know, F off to Lionel, F off Lionel. And he goes like, oh, it like struck me, you know, because I didn't know what I said was wrong, you know, but he made him feel old, like my grandma loves you. So then he's like, I took that with me my whole life, and like 50 Cent came up to me and was like, my grandma loved your music, my mom loved your music, and I looked him square in the eye, I said, F off, Fitty. And he's like, he goes, I thought that was like, so, you know, it's good to give people these lessons and tell them when it's not okay to say something. Like, don't say, you look good for your age. How about,
oh my God,
you look good?
Oh,
How about just that?
I was in a restroom at the
Look good.
vegan restaurant, that Gracias Madre.
Yeah.
And I went to pee and I came out and a girl said to me, hey, you know what? You look like kind of like a much prettier version of Sia.
what?
And Grace Coddington. And I was like, oh. And she was like, you know who that is? And I was like, I do.
But I just want you to go.
And I was actually flattered. I was flattered, but I was also like, if I didn't have a secure sense of self, that would be harsh. That would have, if you said that to me 20 years ago, I would have been like, you know.
But these whole things like
drank a lot
versions
of
or for your
alcohol.
age, or like even the whole concept of like plus size. Like the idea of like something being plus size implies that there's like a size that's the right size.
Ooh.
Do you know what I mean? So like, why are we teaching our young
Tell the
girls
truth,
that?
tell the truth.
Like, plus size plus what? Like there's not one. There's not a size that's like the good size, like the right size. Like everyone comes in different sizes and shapes and forms, and like we need to be encouraging each other to be like healthy and love themselves and like be on this planet as long as possible so that they can do good. You know, not to be like. Being like, oh, you look like you're a 10, you look like you're an 8, like, or like, oh, I'm like, you know, even people are like, I'm doing body positive things, like plus size and loving it. I'm like, plus what? Like beautiful and amazing and like womanly and fabulous and loving it. Like, what's the plus about?
Yes. I wish that it hadn't been like validating to have her say that I looked like a prettier version of myself. Like, I wish that it wasn't. I wish that it meant nothing to me at all. That I was like neutral either way. Whatever anyone would say to me, whether it was negative or positive, I wish that I was secure enough for that not to matter to me. But we're just human
I also
beings.
get asked, like, what are you gonna do? I mean, it's always rings in my head in a German accent because I remember it so well. Like this journalist, like, what are you gonna do? Are you afraid of aging? What will you do when you lose your beauty and you are no longer interesting? And I was like, you know, I mean, this idea, ageism is on my mind a lot lately. It's like, but it's very strange, you know, like to have that because he wouldn't ask that if he were a man.
Well,
like
but
nobody would ask that. if he were a man.
the double, you know, the thing of it is like, how can you be beautiful and have a brain? You know what I'm saying? Like, people need to get over that idea that you can only be just that one thing. You can't be both beautiful and be completely intelligent.
I'm not where I am because there's a million other girls that are prettier than me with better bodies and better dancers and all these other things that are more talented than me. But why am I the most famous for doing this thing of taking off my clothes in front of
Because you're smart.
Your erotic wit and wisdom comes through with the thoughts you think on stage. And a lot of people, they can just do the moves and wear the outfit and do the pinup hair, but it's like, you have to have something. The thoughts, people can read your thoughts.
Totally.
You know, they can read. It's what acting. It's the same.
This right now.
Yeah.
It's amazing. One of the best shows I ever saw was Danny Hawk in the 90s, who's an actor who he would go on stage in New York City and he would just wear black. And he's just a big guy. And he would just put on like giant gold earrings. And at first you were like, that's ridiculous. And then 15 minutes later you're sobbing because he's playing like this girl on a doorstep. And he's doing it, and it just didn't matter at all what he looked like because he just so went into the heart and soul of that character and started playing it and doing it. And it's so funny because like that's what performance really is. And I as a director see that all the time. It's like trying to direct a child, I'm like, just feel it, because what you're transmitting to the audience is actually a feeling. You know, it's not, you get over the superficial so quickly, and when you were saying, is this making it hard? And we were all like, what?
Yeah.
No, actually, no.
Like,
because you just get right through it so quickly, and that's the thing that it's like so amazing to me is when somebody's great at transmitting a feeling, like it transcends that so quickly, so completely, you know, it's bring something that brings people in and brings them to you.
And it is so much more than just confidence. And like,
way
to me,
more.
it's vulnerability, like all these feelings of like when you do feel vulnerable and, you know, strange, like, and combined with the confidence or whatever, it becomes magic and people recognize something. Like maybe they don't even know why they love you, you know, like why are people fans of someone? It's like, do they recognize something in themselves? You know, it's not just because they're like, oh my God, they're the most beautiful and the most amazing and the most talented. It's like something else is resonating. I really believe that. It's not just that, you know.
You are right, though. They wouldn't say it to you if you're a man.
Yeah,
and
they
you
wouldn't.
only have to Google that movie that starred Adam Sandler and Kate Upton and then see both of them standing next to each other on the red carpet. He's literally wearing like shorts, like shorts and a t-shirt and like long socks. And she's wearing like a full gown.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's like,
I honestly love, did you ever see that Beyonce video where she plays like the man's part where she's in the cop's uniform?
If I Were a Boy?
What is, I don't know what song it is, but I just thought that was so fascinating how she could go through the same motions exactly, and it looked bitchy. It looked bitchy. The things she says, or her actions, what she's doing looks like she's, you know.
Well, also the thing is we have to let women have their journeys. Like, you know, we treat women as if there's like an expiration date after 20. So everything is kind of like, you should be in a panic. When it's like, why can't, as women, we just have our journeys and like be 50 and be 60 and be us at those times. And like, you know, if you've carved your own path that like, you carved a path that did not exist until you carved it. So it's like, what, you're just gonna like, does that ability to do that just stop after like 30 somehow? Like that's a joke.
We need more examples of beauty and sensuality in all phases of life.
Exactly.
Because hopefully, God willing, we're all going to go through, we're going to get to experience those stages. And like, it'd be nice to have it softened and have more examples of it so that we don't, you know, we can set the examples. Because I'm always looking to women that, there's a lot of women that I look up to that are maybe like 5, 10, 15 years older than me that I'm like, she's still sexy and hot. Like, and I fall victim to like the ageist issues as well, where I'm like, oh, I had myself retired like 2 years ago. I mean, when I was 20, I had myself retired at 30, you know, because you don't know.
Sure, your mind gave you that timestamp.
And I just like was like, what am I doing? And I look at other women around me that are older than me, and I'm like, she's still doing it, and she's awesome. So I'm gonna keep doing it. And somebody's wanting to watch me go through my different phases of life and still be. You know, still have my sensuality and my sexuality and control it, you know.
Shout out Madonna.
Yes. You know, I was at a Pilates class one time. It was Madonna had just posed for some magazine nude, and I walked into Pilates class, and there were a couple other ladies in their 50s and 60s there, and this young girl was, you know, complaining about it, like, how dare she do that at her age? She needs to keep her clothes on. And I was like, hey, you know what? We're all here trying to look better naked. we don't need to hear it. we don't need to hear what you have to say about this. And she was like, but honestly, like think about what you're saying and who's around you and how it touches them,
You're not supposed to exist as a woman after 40.
Right, but just like stop,
But also think about who made the rules. Like who's saying that? Like a lot of the times when we're breaking rules, we need to think about who made the rules in the first place.
Yeah.
Because I really don't think a lot of the times it's like other women who made the rules that like you shouldn't do that after like at that age. You shouldn't be naked. You shouldn't have your sensuality. Like
But I hear
trust
that
and
more
believe
from
some
women
man
than
made that
men,
rule.
I have to say more from women than men. Men are like the cougar is alive and well for a reason because like that erotic wit and wisdom is something that is cultivated and it's like you should be afraid of the cougar because guess what? She's got experience. She doesn't care. She's probably got more money than you. So like look out, okay?
And she's
I
ready.
mean, honestly, it's like
to pounce.
I like this is a good world we live in where you have to be afraid of the older woman too. But like sometimes when you're really young, you're like. They can't understand, but you have to cultivate, it's important to cultivate more than just your youth and beauty.
But think how important it is that you said something to that younger woman. And like you brought that up earlier with like even the Lionel Richie story, like that lesson, and it's important for us to teach, like whether it's a stranger or a friend, to say something like, oh, actually, like I think she's beautiful, and who are we to judge?
I think she's competent too.
Right. Thank you. Of course.
Might have a little experience.
But what I really think that we need to do more of as people is just to say when it's not okay to say that. Like I actually don't think
when
that's.
People talk like when when somebody starts wanting to gossip, I just kind of like to stop it and like to the best thing you can do is just listen to them and be like, what makes you say that? And then it diffuses it and they get like,
Because
oh,
it's
this
actually
person
so
won't
rare
engage.
that
This
someone
person won't
would
engage.
It's actually very rare for people to say like, oh, I think that's offensive that you would say that. Why would you talk about somebody
It's
that
so
way?
fun. It's fun to
Nobody says that.
Yeah,
And that's
like why would you just be quiet? I think it's important to speak up and to use our voice and.
But I will say, when I screw up, I so appreciate when people take the time and energy to come at me with love.
Yes.
And and I know that it's nobody's responsibility to call me out with love, but when it is done, I learn so much more quickly from it, and I take those lessons so much more seriously. So, like I know people, like a couple people on Twitter have been like, hey, like just so you know, that's that might offend someone, or like, and when they come at me with love, I'm so appreciative of that. Because I feel like if you which is totally fine if you think I've done something that offends you, like if you want to come at me with anger, like totally, but I will learn more quickly from it, and I'm trying to remember to do that with other people.
Yeah, and anger closes the door, I think, and love opens the door.
Yeah. The other funny thing that I've been observing now is it's an interesting one, but I'm going to start with a Mike Tyson quote, which was Mike Tyson had this great quote, which was, I used to think that life was about gaining everything, and now I realize it's about losing everything, which is so profound in this context, which is my son was born and he's just this raw, like a live creature. And then all of a sudden, I think it was like 5, self-awareness arrives, and it's just volume 100. Like, are we doing it wrong? Am I doing it wrong? I mean, he's not like that, but you see it arrive, right? At the highest possible volume. Should we not say that? And it's about to get really strong. And all of a sudden they become aware, and I was watching him and I was thinking, it's so interesting. Between now and death, from the moment ego arrives, it's at volume 100, and then it slowly works its way down. Right? As you realize, oh, wow, all people have sexuality and it goes on longer than I thought. And wow, it's not what I thought it was. Oh, and I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be the thing I saw in a magazine or whatever. And now I realize, like, that is the journey of life. Like, it is, like, yes, we are all receive judgment from other people, but it's also the journey of life is, like, understanding that the people younger than us have volume 100 or volume 80.
Oh, they really
or
do,
whatever. Of,
We
like,
really do.
it's got to be, but it should be, but, like, the ideas are still here, and then slowly you work your way towards, that's not, we're all, oh, gosh. Oh, wow, and it's like full of all these other things too, so that by the time, they say that the happiest people are between 50 and 60, 50 and 70, I think, right? Incredible. Really? The happiest, off the charts, because they're just like, let it go. They're like sexual and happy and falling in love and like having great times. It's like off the charts, the love affairs.
Really?
Off the charts.
50 to 70?
Yeah. 50 to 70.
I want a
like,
time machine.
There's like a whole
Also
thing.
scientifically proven that single people are happier than people in relationships.
Well, we don't have to look at
So
our.
just, whoa, sorry. This is my depth perception again. I really wanted to make a point.
But I think it's like this long journey that now I realize like, oh, we're all on this journey in my belief system. It's because we're all one, and like we're working our way from the belief of the self to realizing like, oh, we're all one living organism, you know. But it's like that is the journey, is realizing like, oh, that person down there thinks you can't be this whole.
But that's
you
where
know?
compassion kicks in, right?
Yeah, totally.
You know, where you have to just look at someone and be like, been there, I see you, I get you, and like I have no judgment for where you are. And I think a lot of the times it's really hard for us not to judge people where they are, even if it's like not that bad, it's just different, you know?
Yeah.
And I think we take our humanity out of it a lot of the time. So we'll be kind of like, you.
That's not gonna work.
Well, I'm
You
just,
should get right up in there. Get right under that skirt. Katy.
The humanity.
Get right up in there.
I just kind of,
Please get right up in
Your
there. You
sound
can't do it
guys
unless
are
you get right up in
trustworthy, they'll
there.
turn off the mic.
well,
Nespa?
Or
Not trustworthy?
on mine again.
it's done. I wanted my girl to feel safe. I want my girl to feel safe. Well, this has been amazing.
So great, lovely. Such
Thank
a
you
great idea.
so much, everyone, all my sisters and friends.
I know. I feel like I wish we could take someone out, like questions, or can we do that or no?
Yeah,
Not
let's
really?
go live.
Oh,
Should we
amazing.
see?
Yeah.
I mean, why not, right?
Yep.
I feel like we just brought in this sacred space. I would have like a million questions for Dee. I'd be like,
When it's over.
because like I just like as a woman, you're always just kind of like the journey of your own like sexiness and sexuality. It is just really such a journey. So you're always being like, oh, is there like something I haven't unlocked or thinking about? So like when you see your friend who's just like really evolved, you're like,
This is so important that we are doing here right now, because I know there is a lot of people that are younger than us that are watching right now.
Were you looking for this?
Yes, will you help me go live, please? Will you also feed me? Have a nugget.
Listening to you guys talking about it, it's very important just for them, and you're teaching it every.
But at the same time, I feel like this, like the next generation has got so many other things figured out that
They are.
Oh yeah, oh my God.
And that's what as a world.
Like, I was on a train when you're off your crazy. And there was a girl, a little
Get out of here.
I hurt my body, and I was like, this teenage girl has like, yes. What?
when I was
Yes.
teenage girl. No way. When I was on vacation recently, this woman was telling me about her son who was in Brooklyn, and they're from Jamaica, which is like just like the most loving, beautiful people. And so she was like, when he was in Brooklyn for a semester, she was like, he just saw such like sadness and people like people so disconnected in New York, and she's like, we're just not used to that here because it's such like a village vibe. That he made little pins that said, "Do you need to talk? I'll listen." And he just wore them all around New York. And he was like, and I wouldn't do them on, and she was telling me that he said like, he wouldn't wear them on days where he felt like he didn't have the capacity to. But whenever he did, he was like, do you need to talk? I'll listen. I'm like, should we make those?
Yes, I'd love to
do
make
that?
Do You
Let's
Need
do
to
them.
Talk, I'll listen.
Yeah.
I want those everywhere.
So, you know what I mean? I thought that was like such a beautiful idea, and I was like, damn, I need to make this, because like I've done like an Are You Okay booth where I like set up a booth in like at a like park one day, and I was just like, are you okay? Do you need to talk? And it was one of the best days of my life. It was so beautiful and amazing and connective. So I was like, oh, how cool would it be if you could just be on the subway and someone could look at that pen and then be like, you know, I was actually having a hard time with da-da-da. You know, we should be that for each other, you know?
Okay, we're gonna take a photo and we're gonna go live.
Are we not?
What is...
Retake.
Where's Mia?
Hang on, you're missing Patty.
Oh, yeah, no, and Mia.
Just go a little bit further away, a tiny little bit. There we go.
You're a director already.
I'll wait for Mia.
You're doing great.
Yeah, are you going in number 1 or number 2? Hi. I was gonna put you in the photo.
Honey.
Will you help her with her? We're gonna do a photo.
Need to get reconnected, darling.
Don't say anything interesting. Just for a few minutes.
Wait, one more time. Hold on, I'm waiting for them. This is just a photo that goes to the internet, but this whole thing is on the internet. So it's like they see us taking the photos and then deleting it. So ready?
It's like an alternate. It's an alternate reality.
No, one more time.
I'm a demon.
On the internet.
One more time.
It's so funny. What's happening to the left side of your frame is so hilarious.
I don't know, but I'm going live.
It's dirty.
It's great.
Let's go live. So we're going live.
What does that mean? I thought we were alive.
We're going really, really live.
Meaning they were going to talk to us, so no swearing because they've
How are you going to
got.
stop on one? I looked at it
Now
right
there's
before I
no
got here.
20-second delay.
I don't know.
And that they will have access to ask us questions. I believe that's.
So hi everyone, we are live and taking your questions. If you've been tuning in.
Someone said Frisia.
Frisia.
Oh, can you tell the Brazilian people that I am not in Beyonce's basement? In your language.
Oh yeah, can you tell them in your language?
Gente, a Cia não está no basement da Beyoncé.
I'm right here, guys. I'm here. I'm in Katy's
She's in my basement.
It's called what's it called? Fan tales or no? They have
Fan fiction.
Fan fiction. That's right. So they have stories.
It's
about
actually
us.
a joke.
Yes, right.
It's actually a joke because they say that you work for Beyonce, so Beyonce doesn't let you leave.
She didn't let me leave. That's right. So she keeps me in her basement, and that became.
So does anyone? Any advice to girls like me who never seem to find their confidence and feel insecure? Will misogyny ever end? Tell Cia to take off the mask. She's so beautiful, and so are the rest of you. Oh.
Thank you, but that's not why I wear the mask.
Yeah.
Tell us
Because
why.
I know I'm a stone cold fox.
Yeah.
Do you think it is wrong?
There.
Oh, okay. Define yourself as a woman with one word.
Me.
Strong.
Trying.
Good.
Tits.
Yeah.
Miss Steele, your word. That was for Kate. Joy.
Feminine.
Imperfect.
Kind. Anna and Katy date. Hey, girl.
I see you. So you're single?
Monday night, I'm rocking out of this game.
I'm in the stable.
Wow.
Sexy in the stable.
You're in the stable. I'm unstable. If anyone's looking.
There is so much going on.
Does anyone have any advice for someone who said they were struggling with their confidence?
We're all on the same boat.
I do. Everybody is.
Everyone. Oh, me too.
Everybody is, and know that everybody is, and don't. It's already hard enough life without attacking yourself in addition to.
Yeah.
So just let yourself off the hook for
Yes.
for feeling imperfect. Everybody does till forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've known so many people of the most beautiful people in the world and the most powerful people in the world, and
Yes.
everybody struggles. So give yourself a break and just do the best you can every day.
It bothers me so much that the bylines on most magazine covers are like
Violence.
the like woman on the cover is like how she found love, success, and happiness. And half the time I know these girls and I'm like, she's a mess. She's amazing and she's complicated and she contains multitudes, but she's a mess. She hasn't figured it out. Like
I want to be on a cover of a magazine that says,
garbage.
Katy Perry, hottest mess. Truly.
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
So there's a way to help yourself if you notice your thoughts, so becoming aware of your thoughts. So if you have a thought that says like fat or tree trunk thighs or whatever it is that you invert it. So as soon as you notice yourself having the thought, you do the exact opposite. Beautiful, good strong legs, good for walking me from one friend to another.
That's nice.
You know, things like that.
I like to be grateful for my body instead of being like, oh, I don't like
Yes.
this. I go, oh, isn't it nice my legs work and I
Yes.
can walk and my body moves fluidly, you know, like being grateful.
Reframing.
Yeah,
The
just,
power of
or like bad
Carrie
thoughts that come at you.
Fisher's-
If somebody says something bad, it's like water off a duck's back. I always imagine like it rolling off of me, like a visual of like, it's gone. It didn't sink in, it didn't go in, it just like fell off.
Yeah. Carrie Fisher said a thing about your body is just a bag to take your brain from place to place to have experiences. And I love that so much. I think about that all the time.
I love that.
Okay, they're going crazy over there. Got
Let's
mad
get
questions,
one
mad
more.
amounts of questions.
One more question. What are your favorite empowerment songs?
Roar.
Okay, all right. You guys. What are your favorite empowerment songs?
Wow. I don't really listen to that much music.
I mean, honestly, I Will Survive.
It's a
Please.
great one.
It's great. Hello.
My biggest empowerment songs are really the ones that I can sing along to.
Yeah.
So they
So
have to
Dean
be like,
Martin or country?
or like, you know, I feel like we're equal here.
As far as being turned up?
So like there's our list of karaoke songs. It's something about like, honestly, when you have to be able to sing along to it to feel it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I Am Woman.
Yes.
Yeah. I can also sing along to I Got Friends in Low Places. but
Any
that's
country
not
I'm
really
pretty,
me.
I can maybe kind of
Yeah.
get through.
I'm Every Woman. That's a good one.
I'm every woman. Love that one.
And $1 Million Bill. Whitney
Oh!
Houston.
$1 Million Bill.
People sleep
No,
on
they
that
don't sleep
song.
on. By the way, they don't sleep on that song when it comes
It's
on.
in the
When $1
club.
Million Bill comes on.
That is like, I'm in church. Like,
You $1 million
yes, that is my jam. $1 Million Bill comes on, like,
Honestly, I want to play that at like your wedding if you ever decide that's good for you, girl.
thank you for space on that journey.
Yes. Well, we'll come back to us, but thank you so much for joining us, and love you guys, and love you women, and love you men, and just have love for
And
yourself.
everything in between.
And everything.
Oh yeah, and everything in between. Yeah, everything in
Mm-hmm.
between. Love you guys. See you later. We're still here. I finished.
I was like, what's the push? Like, there's a button that's just like, she just is like hovering. It's like, but they're still watching and they're.
Right.
That's the thing. It's like, bye, hi, bye, bye, bye. I keep just saying bye, and I'm not really actually leaving. Well, ladies, thank you so much for coming over, and I love you so much, and thanks for holding this space and creating a new space, and I love all of you guys. You're so